y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 376 up in here. Yes, sir. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're a podcast listener and you're like, what is all this yelling about? Just stay with us. I'm sorry. It's ending right now. It's done. But there's like 2 or 3 more times. But just like,
yeah, I was gonna say, just
I
wait
don't
till
want to turn anybody off too early. We did a I don't remember if it was in our survey or what, but we had asked people, this is months ago, like just what they thought of the show, give us some, critiques and some creative criticisms. And somebody was like, when I first started listening, all that energy was a little off-putting, but I got used to it. I was like, all right.
That's amazing.
Wow. Banned.
I was like, you know what? I get it. I get that.
No one can harness my joy. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not even offended. So, oh my goodness.
That's funny.
I listen to podcasts and I don't know anybody that yells. So,
That's right.
Does anybody yell in the podcast you listen to, Ed?
I don't think so. It's all calm talking.
That's what I'm saying. So this is sometimes feels like you're popping the clutch.
I like it though. It's good to have that clutch popping every once in a while.
Yes. Agreed.
I think so too. That's why we do it.
I know, right?
It's not really like a clutch pop. It's more like kicking the little thing on to start the motorcycle.
Ooh, I like the kickstart.
I don't know what that's called because I don't ride
It's
motorcycles.
called kickstarting.
Okay, there you go. Kickstart.
Yeah.
That sucker.
It's a super creative name for kickstarting a motorcycle.
Yeah.
There you go.
Edward,
Yeah.
how are you, buddy?
Good, man. Good. Had a nice week. It was pretty. Our weekend was pretty chill, pretty low key. Kind of in preparation for the storm that's about to go in this holiday weekend with family over and what have you.
That's right. It's about to crank up.
It is. So Sarah and I just kind of chilled, and surprisingly enough, Sunday Sarah played Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order all day long.
No way, really?
Yes.
She didn't feel it, huh?
What's that?
She didn't get seasick from the button pushes?
No, but she pretty much, once it got more than one button push to attack, she was just button mashing.
Oh, yes. Amen. Yeah.
So I don't think she really felt any of that stuff that I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
She seemed to enjoy it. She said it was a lot of fun. The only thing that, and Gabe, you might relate to this, the only thing that she really didn't enjoy, and I kind of struggled with still, was, in the game, you go to a planet, you go do a mission, you go back to your ship and fly away.
Yep. That's
Getting back to the ship,
dude,
is not the easiest because the map they have, the map system is
jank,
pretty atrocious.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And I think we spent an hour just trying to figure out how to get to the ship, let alone traversing it,
Oh, man.
And so that was her only complaint, was just the map was, she said a few times, I wouldn't be able to play this without you here.
Yeah, she's begging for a fast travel like the rest of us.
Yeah, and like I was there to, like, when the puzzles came, I was like, okay, here's what you're looking for, that kind of a thing, because she's kind of like
YouTube.
Exactly. So she's kind of like Chris. She's like, I just want to fight people.
Yeah,
I don't want to, be doing puzzles or whatever like that. But yeah, she seemed to enjoy it. She hasn't picked it up since. She hasn't asked to play it since. I think she kind of got her fill. But yeah, it was kind of cool to see. I did jump in a little bit more off stream for another couple hour session and played through it. It was all right. It's just all right for me. It's just not my thing.
Is it because of the controls though?
This time it wasn't because of the controls. Because
what I often think, Ed, is like, I personally, I didn't do, okay, so this is a little bit unfair comparison, but just like, hear me out for a second. I only fast traveled in Spider-Man because it was a trophy. Now, traveling around in Spider-Man just by itself was super fun, right? So let's put that to the side. Also, though, I didn't fast travel much in God of War. But I feel like because I felt strong, and I feel like I don't feel strong in that game. Like, I feel like I'm just like going through Jokers in God of War. And Star Wars, I'm like, who am I? Like, are the Jedi just stronger in my memory? Like, I think that they're supposed to be strong, but they're not really.
Yeah.
I don't know. It bugs me. So there's something about that bugs me.
Yeah, and it's like you were saying, like in Red Dead, I loved just riding my horse. I didn't know what I'd find on the way.
Yeah.
I didn't know what adventures. And with this, as soon as it was like, get back to the ship, I'm like, oh, come on.
You know what it
I gotta
feels
go
like,
with-
Ed?
That would be frustrating.
It feels like dungeon crawling, but they're not
Yeah.
dungeons. Like for an RPG guy, like you go here, you crawl the dungeon. You go here,
Yep.
you crawl the dungeon. You go over here, you crawl the dungeon. And I was like, I hope that the story is worth all this dungeon crawling.
Yeah. Yeah. When I played
Interesting.
off stream, I didn't struggle with the controls as much, but that was also because the mission I was on a planet where it was just me fighting slugs and butterflies. And it's just like, can I shoot a stormtrooper? Can
I know.
fight a biker scout? I don't, it was kind of the same thing as before. It's just
Anything
like,
else.
yeah. So I kind of, with that last mission, it was pretty in parts, but I just kind of fell out of love with it. If I was ever even in love with it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just kind of like, I don't think I'm going to call this person back.
I know. Doggone it. I want to
know.
love that game so bad. I wanted it to be Game of the Year contender for me.
Yeah, me too. When they first showed that preview or that sneak peek, and you're freezing people and putting them in front of their own lasers and all that stuff, I was so excited for this game. And maybe that's part of the reason why, but yeah, I kind of.
That's a good point.
And then the clay Wookiee showed up, and I was like, out.
Oh my gosh!
Honestly,
Clay
that's
Wookiees.
kind of what did it for me. I'm like, really? They couldn't do better than that?
So you're not planning to play it at all,
Nope.
Tim?
No, not right
Yeah,
now.
I won't play it anymore either.
Yeah, it was very, very sad.
I really I almost want to
you
go try it on
Redboxed it,
Xbox.
right, Gabe?
Yeah, I Redboxed it, but like Redbox to buy. You know what I'm saying? Like there's been some things I Redbox and you're like, oh, I have to have this in my life.
Right.
So I wanted Redbox it on Xbox only because somebody, I think it was in our family, but somebody said that they played on Xbox and didn't have any of that like button lag issue.
Good. Well,
So
that's good.
Maybe it's different, you know? And
Maybe.
I have because I have a day one PS4, but I have an Xbox One X. Maybe even that will help. I don't know.
That's true. And every time that they've come out with 2 patches since then, and every time I'm scouring through, like, and it's like, fix this tree is prettier now, and it's things like that.
One of
Oh
the
my
battle, one of the guys that was over fighting, he actually tweeted out a patch update and was like, "Hey, this is in the works," and it was all a lightsaber stuff, and I was like, "Huh,
Really
interesting." What are you about to say, Chris?
I was gonna say I'd be very curious if you did end up doing it over on the Xbox side just to try it differently, because I've listened to some other show like podcasts that I listen to where people discuss, and even people on PC are saying like that's the way they did, but they're not talking about it from like a struggling like you guys are. They're like, yeah, these animations and things, and that's the style of combat that's more akin to like a not Red Dead, a Souls game. Again, not quite to that level, but they're like where you've got to. It's just like that's one of the things that I enjoyed. They made me get Bloodborne besides the art style, and then it made me dip my toe in the water is because everybody was like, "Oh yeah, it's like a Dark Souls game, but it's a little bit faster." And it wasn't like a fast combat game, but it was there was a little more pep in the step kind of thing.
Yep.
And I've just heard from several other people that like this is the way that the combat is in this game. So I don't know that it would be any different, but I would like to hear from especially from someone who's experienced it one way, if it is indeed any different the other way.
Yeah, definitely.
On the Xbox, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it would only help that yours is the Xbox One X versus like a day one like mine is.
Yeah, because if it was snappy, if the fighting was snappy, I'd have stuck with it.
I feel like there would have been way more chatter about that from like reviews type people if it was that different amongst the 2 different console versions.
Right, you would think, right?
I would think so, but then again, crazier things have happened. So
Yeah, I mean, Aladdin on Sega was way better than Aladdin on SNES, but I think those were like slightly different games, which is weird because they came out at the same time, but it was way better on the Genesis.
I did see someone posted a tweet about, Gabe, they say that when someone's shooting a laser at you, if you tap L1, you'll deflect it back at the person shooting.
Yes.
And a lot of my struggle was doing the tap and then holding to deflect the rest of them.
Yeah.
And that's where I was always getting hit with the second and third laser.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, and this guy was talking about something that I won't spoil, but later on in the game, you can hold that block, it'll deflect, and if you just continue to hold it, it'll continue to block. But I reached that point. They don't tell you can do that.
So there's nothing. There's nothing.
You
that
spend the
says
first
you
half thinking,
wow.
"Oh, I can't do this." So then when you can, you don't know that you can.
Man.
So I was like, that isn't helpful. That's just more frustrating for me.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
I've still been plugging away at Death Stranding. I know that I don't know if Chris is annoyed with me. I don't think he's annoyed, but a couple times he sent me a message saying, "Hey man, if you get so far and you want to talk about some stuff, let me know." And I'm still like, I'm still in chapter 2.
Oh wow.
I am just taking
But
my time.
Ed, that's a great example though. That's another game where the game,
Yes.
that game is based around walking and traveling, and it seems to not bore people half as much as it did on Jedi Fallen Order.
I would rather try to balance a box on my back than fight a big slug.
Nice.
Jeez.
Doesn't
The
everybody?
game's so much better than we're painting it out to be. It just how me and Ed ran into the same struggle. I don't know. What's
Yeah,
going on.
and I'm clearly, most of the people I talked to that played it love this game.
Yep, that's
so
exactly
I'm
right.
clearly in the minority. It's probably an Ed thing and a Gabe thing.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I do plan to jump in with it, but it's just honestly, I don't think it'll be until sometime, in January, because the way things are going and just with holidays and time you got to spend around going to all that kinds of stuff and everything. I mean, I'm taking my time. I want to be done with Death Stranding. I don't really well, I'll talk more in my update, but I just don't want to bring in Jedi Fallen Order into that until I can devote the time for it.
Because the controls are
Right.
way crazy.
Yeah. I did finish Doctor Who, the VR game, The Edge of Time.
Did you finish that? That's awesome.
I did. And
Good.
at the beginning, like I mentioned last week, they don't tell you how to work the controls or whatever. It's a bit of a struggle to figure out what you're trying to do. Sometimes you think you're grabbing one lever and it grabs another one, and that's a little frustrating. But once I got past that opening first area or whatever, man, that game was fun. If you know Doctor Who and you know the Weeping Angels, that freaked me out.
That was so fun to watch.
It was so scary. I was shaking the rest of the game just from that. It was just so much fun. A lot of classic Doctor Who references. So I really enjoyed that. I can't wait for Sarah to get in there and hop in and give that a try. And then, Gabe, I have fallen in love with Batiste.
Yay!
In Overwatch.
That's awesome.
I this morning was watching, I had a Twitch player on playing Overwatch while I was working, and he was playing Batiste, and the entire time, he was getting between 15 and 19,000 healing every game.
Wait, what?
And I was like, as Batiste?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Really?
And this guy never uses his attack enemy fire. All he does is heal.
He is a great healer
And-
because he's got those 10 canisters that you just reload.
Exactly.
And then the impenetrable shield, what's it called?
The oh my gosh. Immortality field.
Immortality field. Get in there.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes. And I just watched this guy, and he barely even looked at the enemy. He just followed his team behind
kept
them
shooting them.
and just kept shooting them. And
Every
in
now
my
and then
head, I'm
pump
like,
his fist. Yeah.
exactly. And in my head, I'm like, that kind of seems boring because you're not fighting the enemy.
However,
And so today I was like, I'll give it a shot. And I loved it. It was
yeah, that's awesome.
so much.
That is
I
so
only
nice.
the highest I got was like 10,000 healing, but for me that's a lot.
Mhm.
And I really, really had a good time doing that. And so I think I'm going to keep at that for a while. That's a lot of fun.
Look
So
at you adding to your repertoire.
Nice.
I'm telling you, just slowly but surely. I can't wait for Genji and Hanzo to be in there as well because
There you go.
I'm still angry at them.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
But yeah, so it was a fun week. Yeah, it was a good week for gaming indeed.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Chris McCracken.
Yes.
What about you, Doc?
So this past weekend, we did one of these things that this is the first time for us. We had one of those Friendsgivings
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Where we all get together with just it was the same crew that we get together with and do when we have our game nights. So it was Stacy and I, our friends the Karrases, and then Katie and Kale of Katie and Kale fame. And our friend Jason Karras has like well, not a steamer, what do you call it? Like a smoker. So he smoked a turkey like all day long or whatever the heck it was.
Nice.
And everybody brought a little something, and we played some games, some Jackbox, and then ate a bunch of good food, and it was a really good time.
That's
awesome.
This should be the first of many, but it was really, really fun, and really enjoyed that stuff. And then I had a few more freelance things pop up. I did a photo shoot over the weekend, and then I've got this other project that I'm editing for video right now, trying to get it all taken care of and wrapped up by tomorrow, because we are going to be heading to Oklahoma for this Thanksgiving. And ideally, we would leave tomorrow evening rather than have to wake up early and go on Thursday. That way we can just be there and relaxed. And then as people come in, we can, hang out and visit and everything like that. But so that's the plan, but it requires me to finish up the stuff that I'm doing. So after the podcast, I'll be going back to editing and trying to wrap this up. I'm like 75% of the way there. So I'm not too far, but things can come up, and I'm afraid to put it off until tomorrow, and then something crazy happens, and then it delays us from leaving tomorrow night. And I just don't want that to be the case. So I'd rather just have it all wrapped up and finished up. The other day, so I haven't really been playing a ton of stuff. I had been playing a little bit of Death Stranding. I got to about just shy of 30 hours. I'm still in chapter 4. I've not gotten out of it. I don't know how much further I have in chapter 4. Chapter 3 was really long, it felt like. So I don't know how big 4 is in comparison to the other ones, because I feel like 1 and 2 felt about the same amount of time that I spent in each one of them. Still enjoying it, but I haven't really had the time to jump in with all this other like freelance stuff and things that have been going on. Haven't really gotten to do much gaming at all. However, the other day at my office, I use a PC for editing. And one of the things that kind of the perks of the place where I work is they're like, oh yeah, on your off time, like on your lunch break or whatever you want to do, like think of it as your computer. You can do whatever you want kind of thing. So I downloaded Remote Play on it. And I said, I'm going to try this out. I have pretty decent internet at home nowadays. Yeah. And the internet up here is not as good as it is at home, but it's, pretty decent. So I'm going to give this a shot. I haven't really tried Remote Play in a really long time. And pretty much all the times I've done it have been from my Vita. So I'm only playing things that are, like Telltale games, or I played Detroit that way. And I played a little bit of Assassin's Creed Black Flag way, way, way back in the day. But just really to dabble, I never spent like tons of time with it. And I played for probably a good 20 minutes, just to test it out. And even playing Overwatch was fine.
Wow.
Now, I wouldn't say it was 1-to-1 the same experience as at home. There was still, you could tell it's a little different. But I don't feel like I've played Overwatch or any FPS before via Remote Play. Again, it was on the Vita, so not quite a good comparison. But I was like, no, this is not doable. So I'll stick to the just choose this dialogue option buttons or whatever like that. But I mean, I was able to play well enough that I even got to play the game on one of them.
Oh, nice.
So, and now I was playing as Moira, so I wasn't like a really fast precision character. Yeah, so it was a little bit more, give me a little bit more of a cushion there as well. Yeah. But again, I was really surprised how doable it was. And it was only like I said, maybe 15, 20 minutes. Actually, there's only one match, but it went all the way. Like we did the 3 rounds. And I mean, I was actually pretty shocked with how good it did. In fact, it makes me want to do like whatever the free trial, or maybe buy 1 month of PlayStation Now or something and try that out up at work just to see, because it could be really cool. I don't really have any other ability at the moment outside of Remote Play to try out any of these streaming services, unless I do like a PlayStation Now. Like I'm not doing Stadia, and then Project X Cloud is just not something that's doable for me, because as I understand it, at least in its current form, it only works on certain Android phones, and I don't have access to an Android phone. So,
interesting.
So at the moment, the only one that really is doable for me to give a try is PlayStation Now. So at the very least, I may do just a week trial and stream a couple games here on my PlayStation at home and just see how it goes. Because I did try it one other time, but it was way back when it first launched, and it was okay then as well. Yeah. But it was in the earlier days, and I was at other house where I didn't have nearly the upload speeds that I have here. So I feel like that would help out, like it did with my Remote Play thing. And like I was in downtown Dallas, so I was a pretty good distance. It wasn't like I was just down the road.
Yeah.
So I was actually really, really surprised with how well it went.
Nice.
And then, sorry to kind of just bring this up, and Tim, you can kind of piggyback off of me. I don't mean to be breaking any news here, but I am going to be jumping into this whole Extra Life thing.
What?
Now,
yeah,
Yeah,
baby.
buddy.
Let's
It was after Gabe did his, and obviously Ed did his with Stack Up. And I was just like, man, shoot, I hate that I'm not on the team this year. And like last year, we had just moved. I didn't have internet. It just wasn't really going to work. And I couldn't. And I was like, doggone it. It's the thought of doing 24 hours, quite honestly, freaks me out. I was like, you know what? I can do 12 hours. So I'm going to do 12 hours. And I'm saying this because I haven't actually gone to the page and signed up. I'm sorry, Eric.
Come on now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best to get on all this. But the plan right now is to do a 12-hour stream.
I'm doing my best to get on all of this.
Saturday the 7th.
Okay,
That's
Saturday
my plan.
the 7th.
But again, it's not official because it's not on the sign-up sheet. So I need to do that. but between us and the audience, that's my plan.
Okay.
So
You're going to do 12 hours
12 hours.
on the 7th.
On the 7th. Saturday the 7th.
The day or night?
Day
Ooh.
is my plan.
Nice.
I'm putting it on my calendar so I can remember to go.
I haven't decided like from when to when. I'm thinking 10 to 10, but I don't know.
And just as an update, as a team, remember our goal was 10,000, which was up double from last year. We've raised $9,221.
Oh, we're there. We're so there.
So come on, you guys can drag us across the finish line.
Right?
Yep.
Come on, baby. If you guys just make your goal, is Stacey gonna do it? She'll probably be around, right?
Yeah, she'll be around.
If you
But
make
no,
the goal,
she's not going to do it.
like $800. I think
Yeah.
you guys could. I think you could do it, man.
I mean, it's a very good possibility. That's the plan, is to get us across that hump and help bring us into the promised land, so to speak.
I love it.
So that is it for me and my gaming and my update.
All right, Tim Router.
Oh, yeah.
What?
That's it. That's all I got.
What?
that intro?
That is all I got.
Yeah,
Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm out.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'm out.
What do you got going?
I'm out. Yeah, it's it's Thanksgiving. It's crazy time for Lauren. She's been busy at the store. Piper's off from school all week.
Yep.
We've been trying to do some fun stuff. We were able to go to a Preds game on Thursday, which was fun. And then Saturday we saw Frozen 2, which is really good.
Is it?
I gotta say, it's really good.
No.
It's very good.
What's that all
I'll
about?
leave it at that.
I just don't believe in it.
My girls are going to go see. They're seeing it again with their friends
Really?
that are in from Michigan. So yeah, man, it's a good story.
Is it better than the first
It
one?
is of equal value.
What?
I will say this.
So here's the problem. I didn't really like the first one. So maybe
Okay.
maybe it's fine. Maybe it's gonna be.
All right, you could skip it then if that's the case. I mean, if you didn't like the first one, I mean, give it a shot.
Listen, it's not that the first one grew on me. I just didn't like that there wasn't really a bad guy until like the end of the movie. And so the whole time you're just like struggling between sisters. Like, I love you. Be like, leave me alone. But I love you. Leave me alone. And you're like, okay, I can't. This is not
I hear ya.
like where's the evil? Where's the good and the evil? What I did love though was their twist on love. Because Disney's always been big on you got to be woke up by a kiss or something like that. And it's got to be some guy saving a girl or a girl saving a guy. This was like family love, sister saving a sister in the first one.
Yes.
So I loved that.
There's
twist
definitely
on love. Dun,
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 dun.
dun. Nice.
What is that?
I will.
That's my own variation.
Huey Lewis in the news.
Oh, is that okay? Thanks.
I mean, you couldn't tell from that beautiful rendition.
I don't
Seriously.
know Huey Lewis. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'll say this.
I
The
know Huey
music-
Lewis, and I had no idea.
Come on now.
I love it. I love it though.
I will say this. I think the music in the first Frozen is better.
There's no way there's a song better than "Let It Go" in the second one.
Exactly. That's like, and that's a very that's some very big shoes to fill. So
So
I
it's called
think
pick it back up.
let it go. Pick it back up. All right, here's
It's
the
a
deal.
gangster rap.
I need help.
Uh-oh.
I came across Piper's Santa's list, and on Piper's Santa's list, oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this. She would like a Nintendo Switch.
Whoa! Somebody been listening to the show. I'm just kidding.
I so thought you were going to say another dog.
No, God, no. We're done with dogs.
That'd be
We are
amazing,
done with
too.
dogs. We are done with dogs. So here's my question.
Okay.
I'm sure there are going to be some Black Friday deals.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't be so sure. Nintendo's a little crazy with that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. But here's my question. Should I go with a Switch Lite or go with the main version?
Go with the
Because
Switch Lite. You're not going to
Okay,
have her
good.
putting it on the TV.
No, that's the thing. And that's because she has an iPad. She has Lauren's old phone that like doesn't have cell service. But so she's got like all the devices, but now she wants to switch. It would be cool to play a little Mario Kart
Yeah, every now and
on
then,
that,
right?
which I think would be kind of fun.
And
So-
again, you're not going to play on the TV. Like, you just sit there next to
right.
Lauren.
So,
and play
okay.
it.
So then I need to do Switch Lite.
Yes.
Do they have, is the Switch Lite bundled with Mario Kart or would I have
It
to
will
do that
be.
separately? Okay.
I think it will be at some point.
Okay. Like as in some point before Christmas? you think?
Probably.
Okay.
Because
All right,
the other one was. And so I would just imagine that they
I think
know
the
how
other
much
one
people.
still is for this Black Friday.
But what
I
I'm
think.
saying is they know how much people love that doggone
Mhm.
game.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that's what I would do is get a Switch Lite with a bundle of Mario Kart because that's pretty much what I think she wants to play a lot anyway.
Mhm.
But one of her friends had it. In fact, our neighbor has a Switch and like they were playing something. So I'm like, dang it, here we go. But
Yeah, baby.
I you've answered my question, which is I think the Switch Lite is the way to go.
Well, and it's just stout. It's more
Yeah.
stout. Like when have you
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
has any of you guys picked one up yet?
Yes.
No.
Like just
no.
in the store, just held one?
I haven't even seen one in a store like as a
Yeah,
test
we
unit
went
or
to
whatever.
Target and Best Buy have them out.
Okay.
And my wife lives in Target, so we've been up at
Yes.
Target.
Yes.
And so I had my kids because I wanted to test what they thought. And so I was like, "Hey Remy," I was like, "Look at this one. It's the same thing." And he kept being drawn over to the bigger one, but I think it's only because that's what he's used to at home.
Right.
If I would have brought the light switch home first, that's what he would.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he plays his 2DS just fine too, so it's not like it's too small. But I just think all being one piece, I haven't heard of the Joycon drift yet from the do the Joycon drift. I haven't heard. That should totally be a song.
That's right.
That's Huey
Like
Lewis.
Huey
Joycon
Lewis in the
drift.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh,
I know Huey Lewis in the news, and I had no idea what that was.
Twice.
Yeah. Yes, I would say.
Thank you. All right, that
Yeah, that
that
one.
totally helps. I think a Switch Lite would be the way to go. That's very, very cool. So I'll be looking for some deals on that. And so that's exciting. On the gaming front, I have played absolutely nothing
Oh, really?
on console at all. I have been hard at work on a deadline for a web project I'm working on for a client, and they need it by like December 1st, which is, like I'm trying to
Nothing's going on
trying
between
to-
now and then.
Exactly. So I'm trying to get as much done as possible. So I've just been up. So my early mornings have now been just working on that and getting some stuff done. So really all I've been playing with is on the phone with Clash Royale, and that's pretty much it.
There you go.
But I will say this, Chris, it's kind of inspiring that you're doing Extra Life on the 7th. I think that's going to be great, and you're going to do 12 hours, and I'm going to be doing the other 12.
Oh, no way! What?
We talked about it. We prayed about it. We're like, we got to do this. I got a camera. We're gonna make this happen.
Did you really? You got a camera?
I got a camera. We're figuring out the timing, but he's probably gonna do during the day, and then I will take over in the night.
Wow.
Wow!
It is-
Overnight,
it is-
Tim.
It is, yeah, man. It is on the schedule. It is booked. I told
Oh,
Lauren,
snap.
it is on. I have no freaking clue what I'm playing yet or anything. I don't even know how to set up anything yet. So I'm
I'll
gonna have
come
to
over.
figure all this stuff out. Yeah, please
Ed can
do.
walk you through on Hangout.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't wait for 23-hour Tim.
I know, right? It'll be
Or I
great.
guess 11-hour.
Well,
Yeah,
11
11
hour
hour.
Tim. But I am super excited and I'm stoked to do it.
Oh, we're
with my
totally
brother-
getting
with my brother
across
Chris.
that finish line.
And we have
Yeah.
to, yeah. And that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like he was talking about with me. I'm like, man, we are so close. Let's just like he's like, I want to do this. And after Gabe's run and after Ed doing stack up and everything, it's just like, we need to step up too.
You
So
can't be the only ones not to.
right.
That.
So I'm super excited to do this with you, Chris, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And
Nice.
Chris, did you
it'll
say
be a
what
lot
you
of
were
fun.
playing?
No, I'm not 100% sure. I don't plan to play. I'm assuming I'll still be playing it at that time. I don't think I'll do Death Stranding. I just don't feel like that's a stream game.
It doesn't seem like
So it'll probably be a bunch of multiplayer type stuff like some Apex and Overwatch and maybe some Call of Duty. But
Nice.
it's possible that I'll pick something else up single player just for some time frame in there in case I need it. But I hadn't really looked into that just yet.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I mean, I know
You got Watch
probably,
Dogs sitting there, right, Tim?
I know I'm probably going to start with Overwatch because a lot of people will still be up and about, and we can all get in on there. And then probably in the late hours, it's going to be Watch Dogs because I still want to really progress through that. I'm starting to really enjoy that game, even though I haven't played much of it yet. But this will be a good time for me to just really get into it,
That's
get my
for
feet
sure.
wet.
Nice.
And there's a lot to do in that game, so that's probably what I'll be playing. But yeah, man, we got to reach this goal, man, and it's got to happen. So we'll
I'm
see.
so proud of you guys.
So, well, don't be too proud. Yeah, let's get through this first. and
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. If I'm passed out on the couch and there's just 2 hours of me sleeping, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'll be good. It'll be good television.
That's right. That's right. So anyway, that is
He's
it for
scratching
me.
again.
Jeez.
That's it for me. I'm done scratching.
That is amazing.
Mr. Patillo, sir,
Yeah.
what is going down?
Oh man, nothing too much. Just been chilling out this last week. Kids are out of school, like you said. Did some things, some Thanksgiving type things last week with at Amara's school, and every day's just been plugging along, just trying to keep these kids entertained. Jenny and her partner Leah of Love and Lion, they have a couple like makers things coming up. So they have like this thing called Living with Landon. That's a really big deal with this girl named Landon. I guess she's a big Instagram lady. I have no idea.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, you are correct. Yep, you are correct.
I got to make another trip out to California here soon. We're doing it's fun. I'm a December baby. And then two of my best friends that are on the road with me, they're December babies. And so just like the six of us are getting together and doing like a little dinner this weekend.
Oh, that's awesome.
That'll be
That's
fun.
great.
All the little December babies. We'll have it on like the 1st or something like that. My birthday's all the way towards the end of the month. But and then Jenny's got her Porter Flea thing coming up, which is another like market type thing where they're going to go sell their wares and all that. So we've really been gearing up for that. So I've been in just service to my wife, trying to help her get ready for that and watch the kids and drill holes and in the board so they can have this, however they want it to look. And so I've just been like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Got it.
That's
yes,
a good
ma'am.
husband right there. There you go.
Yeah. And then looking at my calendar, it looks like we got a Chris and Tim Extra Life coming up that I got to go watch. So that'll be fun to watch. And same on the gaming front. What did I try to dive into this last week? I've been flirting a lot with the remote play stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't like it that much, honestly. I did the xCloud thing, and I did play after Chris had messaged us saying, hey, I tried playing Moira and Overwatch and it kind of worked. And so I went and did that, and we got the win and everything like that. And it was fine. It's just like, I actually recorded it for you guys, but for some reason, the way the thing recorded, the audio got real off and I didn't feel like fixing it. But it feels like, it feels like to me, like you're playing underwater, like you're doing it. It's just underwater. And so it just felt like it was just that much behind. And again, it might just be something we get used to, or the internet just gets fast enough to where we don't really notice it. I don't think it'll ever be like console. Yeah. I sent these guys, I forget how, what I sent you guys, but I've sent you guys like a graph that somebody made about the millisecond delay between like hardwired PC, which is unfair, and then like Stadia and 1080p and Stadia in 4K. And it just feels like a long way to me. I was like, man, that seems like a big jump. You know, it kind of goes from like, I forget exactly off the top of my head, but it's like something like 20 something milliseconds from, you know, hitting spacebar to somebody jumping to like 100 milliseconds on 1080p to 153 milliseconds on 4K. And you're like, that's a long way. That's a long jump. It's maybe not so much for a single player game, but definitely for twitchy things like Apex or Overwatch when you're playing, you know, Ash or, you know, the Cowboy or Hanzo.
Right.
So, you know, Chris, I'm trying to believe in Chris's method of looking at it. And he's like, it's going to get there. And so I'm just going to be like, it's going to get there. It's just not there for me yet to want to do Stadia or want to do it, because I still pulling it down for it to be snappy, as snappy as I can get it. I have to play at like 720p on like my cell phone. And like just all that just doesn't feel like, I just don't feel like it.
Yeah. So you were doing xCloud on your phone, right?
Yeah.
Or was there another way?
Borderlands 2.
Okay.
On my phone. And then on my computer, I played Overwatch and played Apex.
So you can do it. You can do Apex or the xCloud stuff to PC?
That was remote play I did on my PC.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And like, you know, and so when the internet would dip, it'd just get really glitchy. I couldn't see anybody in the distance or anything like that. And so it was just like, eek, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not for me yet. But I'll be happy when it gets there. I'm rooting for it.
I think if nothing else, it's one of the big reasons that I say all the time, like it's going to get there, is because the industry has a vested interest in it getting there. So I think it's going to get there regardless. It's not like I'm like this huge, I think it's the end all be all and that's how I want all my stuff done forever. It's not so much that. It's just I just think it'll get there because time, it all marches forward.
Yeah, no, and I do believe that. I just don't know if the consoles and those companies will be the ones to push the internet or if the internet has to push itself. And I know everything will end up in the cloud. I just don't know if the internet, whoever that is, feels the push that consoles feel. Like it feels like consoles are wanting to do it now, starting now and further. And it just doesn't feel like internet, Mr. and Mrs. Internet are there just yet.
Yeah.
That's all I would think.
And the other thing is like, why settle for that too? Like if it's sort of working, like that shouldn't be the norm. Like it needs to be, in order for it to, I think.
Yeah, not for $130 or however much Stadia thing is, like for me right now, and then paying for the game on top of that.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that yet. That feels a little steep.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be pretty flawless for it to be super widely accepted at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And in some places you're blazing, in other places you're not. And because it's so inconsistent across the US, and you know, how can they quote unquote standardize that and get to a level? They're just not there yet.
It'd be tough. It'd be tough for sure.
Yeah, so it's super tough.
Tim.
Yes.
You got this?
Uh-huh.
Well, let's do it!
Man, it is a really quick new release week this week.
It's about to be a quick everything up in here.
Exactly. Monster Jam Steel Titans for the Switch. Hey, maybe I'll get that for Piper.
Yeah, pump up the jam. Just pump it up.
Man, I don't know any of these Huey Lewis songs.
Hey, yo.
I like it.
Story of a Gladiator for the PC, PS4, Xbox, and Switch. Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 3 for the Switch as well. This day in gaming. It's a little weak. 18 years ago, November 26, 2001 for the PlayStation 2, Dynasty Warriors 3.
Oh, and I remember Dynasty Warriors.
And for the PlayStation, Twisted Metal Small Brawl. 11 years ago, November 26, 2008, for the Xbox 360, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo at HD Remix.
Wow. Yeah.
Did they even have HD in 2008 at that point?
I mean, it was HD for them.
Yeah.
We're
yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
HD for the rest of our lives. That's what's frustrating.
That's very true. And now it's UHD and what
yeah,
have you, so.
yeah. I'm gonna start calling it UHF.
There we go.
Yay,
We
there
got
you
it
go.
all on UHF.
Wow, I'm so impressed with you right now.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Dang.
I live my life to do that, to impress you.
That's right. That's right. And that is it for me. Back to you, gentlemen.
I like it. Chris McCracken.
Yes, sir. So I just want to have a little bit of a discussion about this because this is a topic.
In trouble.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, and it's not like
Daddy's
that.
home.
It's not like that. No. There's been chatter. I don't remember exactly what I said last week's show, but I do know that when the Game Awards came out, I put in our little group chat. I was like, so them Game Award nominations, huh? And at the time, not everybody had looked at them because the sense that I got was like, even though this was kind of in some respects like a down year. Like I don't feel like there was many heavy hitters as there was like in 2018 in terms of like, oh man, when Game of the Year talk gets here, we're gonna have so much to like go through and so many games to possibly be in the running and everything like that. I'd never really felt like that was the case this year. Like it just felt like a little bit more of a down year in terms of big name releases and all that kinds of stuff. But still, obviously enough to fill out a roster of Game of the Year awards. Yeah. And then Death Stranding got nominated for like 10 things or 9 things or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a bunch.
And I was just like, it feels to me as a person who's self-admittedly enjoying the game and a big Kojima fan, I was like, it feels strange, almost as though they're just setting it up to be the odds-on favorite for everything. Not only because in the categories where it is, there's not a ton where it's up against stiff competition, at least not from all fronts.
Yep.
And on top of that,
you're saying it's not a year where it's Red Dead 2, God of War, and Spider-Man, where you're like, well, this could go any direction here.
Right. Yep.
Yes. But at the same time, I just didn't expect it to be nominated in so many different areas. And on top of that, even though, and we're going to get into some of these details later on, it feels a little fishy because Jeff Keighley and Kojima are such buddy about things.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to say like it shouldn't necessarily be in Game of the Year, and we can get into that discussion as well. But it's just like the fact that it's nominated for so many things and that it's not really up against much. Yep. It has a off-putting perception.
I'll say it. I think it's biased.
I kind of expected it to be nominated for everything.
I totally did too.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I expected it to be nominated for Game of the Year and probably stuff in the acting category because he's got such big name talent. I didn't expect 9 nominations.
No?
I didn't expect quite that many. Well, and again, like I'm not like super offended or anything, but it's like it does feel a little strange about it. It throws some questions behind it whenever Jeff Keighley and Kojima are so openly buddy. I mean, Jeff Keighley is an NPC inside of Death Stranding. I mean,
that's true.
But
he doesn't decide what's up there though, does he?
No, but see, that's part of the issue is that now. So, Keighley basically said, he's the producer of the show. He said he does not vote. He does not have a vote on the nominations, and he does not have a vote in the judging at all. He is strictly like the face of the show and helps organize it and make sure that it's happening on the dates and gets all the people that are going to come up on stage to announce the awards secured. And like, that's his role. He's like, we put an FAQ right up at the front of the Game Awards so that you can see all this information. But the thing is that even with it being there, they haven't been super public about like, they should be shouting this stuff on the rooftops this year more than any year, probably because a Kojima game is nominated and heavily pushed in a lot of these different areas when it's been such a divisive game. And I just, it sucks because the perception is that, Jeff is like setting his buddy up to win a bunch of awards, even though when you look at all the information that's given, there's enough, at least in my eyes, to feel like, well, no, that's not the case. But I can't help but think it's got a perception problem.
So what's the criteria here?
There is none.
Like there is none. Okay. So it's based.
And that's the problem. That's why people are, I don't know if anybody's upset, but it's part of the issue is because we don't know, and maybe you can find this out, but I don't feel like it's as clear like when the cutoff date is like for a game to come out, or because arguably Jedi Fallen Order has, to me, made a bigger splash than Death Stranding. However, that came out the next week, which would have been like right before they announced the nominations. Was it the next week or was
it 2? I don't remember, but it was something like that.
I'm sorry?
1 to 2 week. I couldn't remember if it was the following week or 2 weeks after, but regardless, it was within a 2-week span.
Yes, but they had already done the nominations, and you kind of feel like, oh man, that's a really big one to not be in whatever the time frame that we have is. Mm-hmm. And so me and Chris, we went back and forth on this one.
Yeah, you did.
Because what's crazy is that I'm not super offended by it, because I'm like Ed, like I just knew it was going to happen. But when I sit down and think about it, I start getting like, I mean, I see what people are saying. And so, okay. So this is where me and Chris have the biggest differentiating views on this. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm not mad at anything that it's nominated for except Game of the Year. That's the only one that bugs me a little bit. And my only reason why is I'm not even sad that Jeff and Kojima are buddies and his thing is nominated. Like, it's Kojima. Like, he was going to do this big sprawling game and it was going to be, you know, just, it was going to be Game of the Year regardless. If it would have been Silent Hills, it would have been Game of the Year. Like, because I feel like Kojima, and this, I feel like this is what happened, is just going to get nominated on merit alone. Just like the next time Cory Barlog does a game, everybody's going to be looking at it like as Game of the Year even before it's out because he did God of War and it was brilliant, right? When Naughty Dog does a game, we're going to automatically just start putting into that category before it's even out. You know, Chris sent us a thing last week that was like, wouldn't this be crazy? And it was like all the games of the year from the last 4 years, adding Death Stranding and then maybe Last of Us 2 for next year. And they were all like Sony properties. Right. And you're like, okay, well, you know, that's a little weird. And so my only push is I feel like anything of the year should make a splash culturally. And because I feel like if a bunch of people sit around and say, you know, I feel like best score and soundtrack, best audio design, best art direction, I feel like those are all things that you can see pretty quickly.
Right.
And if you play the whole game down, you're like, oh man, yeah, this thing sounds amazing. Oh man, the acting is great in this game. That's easy for me to quickly put in there. But to say like it comes out on the 8th, and these guys are sending me notes that say that the game had to come out before the 15th of November. Is that what you guys are saying?
Yes. That's what it says on their website.
That's what Ed found, but Jedi released on November 15th.
So, I mean, listen.
Which is interesting.
Which is very interesting. Even more interesting. So, to me, it comes out on the 8th. You only have till the 15th. I don't believe Death Stranding made a very big cultural impact between the 8th and the 15th. Did we see it a lot? Yeah. Did they market the mess out of it? Yeah. Were the review scores all 10s? No. Were the review scores all 9s? No. Were they all 8s? We're getting a little closer to 8s. And so for me, if it came out in June and it was just this game that kind of like Red Dead, we talked about Red Dead till it was blue in the face. You know, like we talk about, Grand Theft Auto. We talk about Grand Theft Auto till it was blue in the face. And so then those things start making sense as anything of the year. But for me, it feels like, man, the 8th through the 15th is really fast. That's 7 days. Did it make a cultural impact to be able to call it the something of the year?
Gabe, define cultural impact.
Yeah.
I want to know, like,
So when we played God of War, and it felt like everybody was playing God of War. And like you felt how good that game was way after it came out.
Okay, so
I feel like the same thing with Spider-Man. Yeah, just all of that, like, and you're like, oh man, there's a Spider-Man just even getting around and it is so fun and da. I haven't really heard that about Death Stranding. It's super polarizing, so that's fair, but I just haven't heard the same. Like even with Metal Gear 5, I felt like it was like, oh, this is weird, but man, if you get past that first 20 minutes, and just scored off the charts. Uncharted, off the charts. Last of Us, off the charts. Like, and you just had this whole thing. Now, this is just for me, but I understand it being game of the year, even if it came out on the 14th.
Yeah.
Because, Chris made the point that, but reviewers vote. Reviewers were playing it way before we were playing it.
Yep.
They're the ones who put it there. And so I'm like, I feel you just of the year. What if it didn't sell anything? What if it was number 35 on the top thing?
Well, and we'll know in a couple. We'll know in a couple weeks.
Right, and I know it'll be in the top 10.
Are.
But I'm just saying, would it have still been game of the year? I just wonder.
Yeah,
I bet it would.
Well, I don't know if Control was in the top 10 ever. Was it?
I don't think Control should be there.
I don't think.
I don't either. But I think.
But see, that's
what you're looking for, Gabe, is an impact award, because I think these guys are judging it on the merit of how is this as a game. Like when people vote on the Oscars, they're not saying what are people saying about it. They're saying, how did it come together? How is this experience as a whole? And I think that's what they're looking for, rather than the impact, the social impact. I don't think that should have any kind of influence
but
on
Edward.
Yes.
If a movie came out, and bombed at the box office, do you think it would still go up for Picture of the Year?
Green Book did, and it won.
And it bombed.
Yes.
It didn't do. I mean, it was such a small movie that
you're right. That's
it
a good
didn't
one.
make anything.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge blockbuster movie or anything.
Moonlight beat La La Land.
But I thought Moonlight did solid. I'm talking about doing poorly. I'm not talking about doing like middle of the road.
Critically, people love it, but do you know anyone who saw it?
I don't know. Right. I know like one person who saw Moonlight.
Yeah. I mean, this is where, and I think part of our conversation the other day, I wasn't quite understanding that was such the sticking point for you. And then I realized, oh, wait.
That's the only sticking point for me.
Yeah. I'm kind of falling more in the camp that Ed is mentioning here. Like, I don't think cultural impact makes one iota on a game of the year. I don't feel like that has, again, like there's that one category, I don't remember the exact name of it, but something like games for impact or something.
Yeah, but that's like different. That's not the impact I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is like those games, like if those games have no,
like tackling, ALS or something crazy.
But what I'm saying is if those games don't have, if like Control gets nominated for like impact game of the year, or whatever, they're supposed to have an emotional connection and all this kind of stuff, like that makes no sense because the category is that. But game of the year, one, to me, it's this, the list is like comprised of like 80 people from different press outlets and all kinds of stuff from like IGN and Polygon and Eurogame and all these different places around the world, not just US based, but around the world. So to me, if they're nominating the game, it has to go through them to get the nomination. And then they're the ones who vote on it. To me, the critics should have a pretty good view, especially with this one in particular, because like you said, especially on the American side, it was very all over the place. I feel like it scored better in Europe and a couple of other places, but even over there, it's not like across the board, 9s and 10s and all these kinds of things like that. But I feel like if they're the ones putting it up there, then okay, they should have the say. They're the ones who for sure have beat the game and for sure can compare it to all these other games that them as a collective have played and all that kinds of stuff. And even though I'm not like a huge fan of the Oscars and I actually haven't even watched them in years, I think of it in that sense. Like, for the majority of the time that I was really into acting and I did pay attention to the Oscars and stuff like that, over and over and over, the movies that are not just nominated, but a lot of the times won movies that maybe they made their money back. They weren't like box office successes. They were like,
well, let me ask you this
though.
I mean, like just if I were to peek at Green Book, I just chose the one. That movie cost $23 million to make, but made $320 million. So that's a lot of money. I mean, and that's why I said in the text too, like culturally to us, maybe it wasn't big, and Moonlight wasn't big culturally to us. I get that, but it was
that also could be DVD and sales. That can't be box office.
What I looked up was box office.
Even if it is, I'm not necessarily even talking about like a financial success based on their budget. I'm just saying, to me, and again, I haven't watched the Oscars in the last couple of years, but I know back when I was watching it, half of the roster of things getting awards were movies that either I hadn't heard about or that nobody, and I don't just mean like my inner close circle, nobody had seen. Literally nobody. And I mean, sure, there's somebody saw them. But it's the Academy and the people within their peers that are voting on all that stuff. We don't get a vote. And so I never felt like, oh my gosh, it must culturally impact me to have the award. I just don't get that one. Now, I do get it more so, kind of where you were coming from a bit more. from the musical side. Because to me,
Yes.
music is more culture related anyways, just in its kind of by its nature. It's just always how I kind of felt. I kind of understand that more. And I don't remember if you said this, but I this is something that I heard somebody else say on the internet, and I definitely agree with. I think it'd be much better for the Game Awards to just be in January. And then let it be
I'm with you on
January to December. Let that be the time frame.
Yeah.
Like it
Well,
seems
especially
weird
if
that they
you
had cut
have
off early.
Huge games still coming out in November.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
And I feel like it's just, and I think I am skewed musically because to me,
Which is fine.
It's
'cause
very
to me-
similar,
'cause
Gabe.
I
It's
know,
very
but
similar.
if you think about like, how do you critically break down a song, right? A game is easier to do that with. You say, wow, that's pretty. Wow, that sounds good. But if I write a hit song, the best song ever written and nobody hears it, that junk ain't up for a Grammy.
Right.
It made no cultural impact.
It made
when
no
you look
impact.
at when you look at the songs that are up for Song of the Year this year, it's hilarious to me because it's way different than years past. It's like,
Mhm.
you know, Izzo and Billie Eilish and like some sillier songs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
you know, Truth Hurts is a hilarious song. You know, it's
It
just
is.
fun, but it doesn't seem like it would be Song of the Year. But if she would have written that song 1 week before the nominations happened, before it got to work its way up to number one
Mhm.
and impact culture, it would have never been nominated.
Mm.
And I feel like that's kind of, now looking at these dates, what happened with Jedi. Like, these same reviewers would have had that game.
Mhm.
That game
Yeah.
got, I think, reviewed across the board better than Death Stranding. Still came out in time. To me, had bigger cultural impact because of Star Wars faster. Obviously, you know, it had a lot going for it. But wasn't nominated at all. But instead we have Sekiro and The Outer Worlds.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see Star Wars next year. That would be really weird if we did.
And it wouldn't win because it'd
Yeah,
be
it
too
totally wouldn't.
far away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be forgotten, really.
Yes.
My whole take on this is, Gabe, I love what you said. You can tangibly see graphics.
Yep.
You can tangibly hear
Mhm.
soundtrack, you know, sound effects, that kind of stuff. And you can hear good voice acting. That's a very tangible and kind of an instant grade that you can give a game.
Mm-hmm.
So in those categories, totally fine. Like I don't have, and to be honest, I take these Game Awards always with a little bit of a grain of salt, because for me, and I said this before, gaming is so subjective. What I
Right.
like may not be what you like, right? And so you have all these people who have been riding and following the Kojima train for so long.
Yep.
I think it might be more of we're here to kind of honor him because of what he's done, and it might be a little biased that way. Again, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But also think about this year too. We did not have these huge games like we did in previous years. Like, I remember when with Spider-Man and God of War, like we were all kind of on the edge of our seats about it to figure out who's going to take it. And it was exciting. And whoever won, that's great. Like we weren't like, well, that doesn't make sense or anything like that.
Exactly.
Like all of those games made sense for Game of the Year because of how huge they were. And there were multiple games that year. This has been a super slow year, and it might be filler. I don't know. It could be.
Well, I think that when you look at, you know, I'm just perusing like games that came out in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like there's some that should have been in there instead of like Control and
What
things
stands
like
out
that.
to you?
The ones that stand out to me, if I were just looking at something like, now maybe this doesn't count because of multiplayer, but like Apex made a big splash. I'm not saying it should have been there. Made a big splash. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Apex isn't up for Game of the Year?
No.
It's
that
in
blows my
a
mind.
different category. It's in the
Multiplayer, right?
not Game of the Year, but it's nominated for a few things, but not Game of the Year.
I feel like Game of the Year should encompass all of those in subcategories.
I agree.
It definitely should.
Because action
agree.
games can be up there, right?
Yeah. And so like
Game of the Year can be anything. I mean, Smash Brothers in there. It's a fighting game.
Yeah, exactly. Kingdom Hearts 3 is another one that made, I feel like, a big splash. People say Luigi's Mansion 3 is ridiculous.
I think it should be up there.
Yep.
And I haven't even played it. I've only watched it.
Yeah. So, I mean, Gears 5, like the fact that Gears 5's not just there just because it's Gears 5 is almost insulting.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you guys feel about Borderlands 3, but that was also this year.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
And so it just feels a little bit of like, it's what Chris said too. It's like, yeah, let's go ahead and put Death Stranding out there with The Outer Worlds. Sekiro? Like, did Sekiro make it made a splash? Did it make a splash?
No.
I don't remember. Control made a splash early. Like, before it came out, the hype was bigger on Control than after it came out.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2?
No. Well, I mean, there's definitely a big contingent of Resident Evil 2 remake people.
But let's say,
For sure.
let's say you take out Resident Evil and swap it with Gears 5. Nobody even blinks at Resident Evil 2, I don't think, not being there.
Right.
But some of these, like Luigi's Mansion, man, I don't know, just from what I've heard. Again, I haven't even played it. And so I'm, Kingdom Hearts 3, y'all know I struggled through it, but like, what was the fever pitch for Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah. I would put Days Gone in there over Control.
Would you really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't play Days Gone.
Yeah, you played a mess of that. So yeah, that see, that's the thing. It's so subjective.
But I don't know if people just don't remember or didn't get to play it. You know what I'm saying? I thought Modern Warfare was really good. Not that Call of Duty should be a game of the year, but you know what I'm saying? But I loved the campaign of Modern Warfare. I thought it was awesome. Now it's only 5 hours long, so that's a problem.
So I was mentioning, and real quick, I don't, especially now that we found out that this date that the cutoff that a game needs to be out for
By the
public
15th.
consumption on or before November 15th, and Fallen Order came out on November 15th. And it's a little bit different on Metacritic because they break it up based on platform, but Fallen Order has an 82, Death Stranding has an 82. So at least from that, the conglomerate of all the several different outlets or whatever, they're hovering around the same. I think that Jedi should be on there. And something that I mentioned to you, and maybe this is a bit more controversial, but I don't like the idea. I almost feel like every game, especially if it's a really stacked year, like you could only nominate it for 4 things. Struggle through it and figure it out. Like if Death Stranding's director of the year and game of the year and soundtrack of the year, whatever, it's like, well, then you don't get to be in the category with actors, or you don't get to be in the other one. Like, and I know that seems a little weird because they don't do that necessarily with other categories, but
you can't do that.
That just feels weird to me.
What they should have done, and they do this sometimes at the Oscars, every once in a blue and at the Grammys. You just have 10 games. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't try to keep it to like 6 or 7 games. Just go ahead and have a 10 game category, and you'd be like, woo, that thing is stacked. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and put Kingdom Hearts in there. Go ahead and put some of these other games that scored. I mean, I don't know what we're going off of if it's not the score. You know what I'm saying? If it's not the overall thing, it's like, what are we going off of here? And I know it's like, 80 people or something like that decide on this whole thing.
I think a lot of it's just a popularity contest, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. But I take a lot of these with a grain of salt. I still think I enjoy them. I always like to know who wins, but I'm not like losing sleep over it at the same time.
Yeah.
Unless they get it just completely wrong, and that would be a collective. If we all were like, what were they thinking? Then it's
and we're not thinking that. I'm not thinking
exactly,
what are they thinking. I'm just thinking
either.
like that's of course it's there.
They're
Even
riding
though,
the
like,
Kojima train.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You know what? That's great. You know
but
what?
Like, I know that I think it was from the clip that you sent us, Chris, the guy talking about Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Don't play Fire Emblem. Heard a lot about it. But it's just like when you go on these like Open Critic or Metacritic things, you're like, an 83 got in there above a 91 and a 90 and an 89. You know what I'm saying? You're like, I just wonder how that happens. And I think it's just the power of Kojima, which I'm okay with. And he'll probably win. And I'll be okay with that too. I want the best for these jokers. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean to be as divisive as I'm sounding. It just was a little fast to me. And the criteria by which I go by, I just feel like you got to make a splash. But to Ed's point, there's going to be some nominations out there that don't splash. I don't feel like Control splash, but I said to y'all in the text that I don't feel like it should be there either.
Right. Do you think Kingdom Hearts should be on their game?
I do.
I do too.
I feel like it should. I was upset with all the talking. I forgot
that even came out this year.
Yeah.
Right.
But like when I said that there was a lot of talking, and then I talked to people that played it and loved it, it was like it was what they had been waiting for. Like it lived up to the 13-year hype, which is almost impossible. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, again, I'm not mad. I'm just kind of like, it should be in there, but there should be other games in there as well. Why don't we go ahead and just make it a 10-game category?
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
Sure. I got no problem with that.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. Thanks for not beating me up too bad, Chris.
Never.
I like the discussion.
I know.
I like having my mind changed.
I like it too.
It
It's just
happen,
like
but...
coming. No, of course, but coming from music is just like it's so different. The people are the power behind the music. Even if your music is really good and nobody's ever heard of you, so we don't come see you, you're not getting no awards. I think Halsey's not even nominated for a Grammy this year or something crazy.
I know, right?
And so it's like, you know, coming from that, it just doesn't make too much sense to me. So I thought this was kind of cool. You guys have heard me and Tim talk about how we fell in love with the Oculus Quest.
Yeah.
And how it felt really good. And I'm going to end up getting one for sure. Facebook owns Oculus, as we know. Facebook has bought Beat Games, who are the makers of Beat Saber.
That scared me at first.
Did it?
Yeah. Because I thought they were going to take it off of PSVR. Like, nothing more for PSVR, only Oculus. That's what I was afraid of.
I hope they don't do that. That would be ridiculous.
Apparently, they said they weren't going to.
Yes.
But who knows?
Right. That would be, but I was about to say exactly who knows. I didn't know this, though. I didn't know it was the first VR game to sell more than 1 million copies.
Oh, wow.
That is awesome.
Did not
So
it is.
that's such a great game. When did that come out? That should be Game of the Year.
I was just going to say, that should be Game of the Year.
I was just joking. It came out last year.
That was
I got it
last
for
year.
my birthday.
That's
I got it for my
right.
birthday last year. And so anyway, I don't know what Facebook is doing really. And I remember being scared when they bought the Oculus. I'm like, what y'all need with Oculus? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can't just do y'all's
leave my Oculus alone.
Yeah, y'all can't just do y'all's political fights on people's walls and stay over there. But now they've bought Beat Games, and so now they own Beat Saber, which is just crazy. And so I will see. Beat Saber is amazing. I know Ed says that Blood and Truth, which maybe should have been up for Game of the Year. I'm just kidding. Is the best VR game ever. I personally feel like Beat Saber is the best VR game ever. It's the best VR game ever I've played. It was the first thing that was like, yep, VR is going to work.
Yeah, it should be up there.
Just have a lightsaber in every game and VR will work. Everybody I've had play that game is like, it feels so right. And you're like, I know. Stop yelling. I know you have headphones on. So
that was me. Sorry, Gabe.
yeah, exactly. So do you guys have any clue? Like, do you think that Facebook is going to be like in the foyer now? Like they're in the fray? Are they jumping into, because I thought they would get Oculus and start doing all this like augmented reality, kind of like Google Glass and do all this stuff. It was really interesting to me that they bought a video game developer.
You think it's just a money grab? Yeah. Like we just want to make some money?
Isn't the money over for Beat Saber though?
You would think, but maybe
it's already sold 1 million.
Maybe they're thinking, oh, what are these guys going to do next? Or we want to be in with all of the music packs they release from now on. Or
yeah, and they did buy Beat Games, not just Beat Saber.
No, I was saying Beat Games. Yeah,
I'm assuming they've got more ideas. Whether they've got something else in active development, I don't know. But I'm sure for the talent alone, because it is. Again, I've not played quite as many VR games as Ed has, but like of all the ones that I've played, and I've enjoyed several, Beat Saber feels the absolute best. It feels so good. It's like if they can do that with that, I'm all ears about whatever they come up with next.
Yeah.
I mean,
assuming it comes to my platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Because I don't have an Oculus Quest.
I'm sure some of it's a little research and development too. And they're, because they had Oculus, they want to start tying things in. I mean, I think they've got a 5-year plan ahead of it, and I think we'll see something from them soon. But I mean, they're always trying to grab things. I mean, they bought Instagram, and look what's happened to that, and it's just a huge platform. So they can do anything, and if they're going to get into VR, I'm pretty sure they're going to do it right, and we'll be seeing some sort of political VR on there, and it'll be joyous.
or hopefully you hope that they at least have their finger on the pulse enough that even if Facebook doesn't know what to do, they buy somebody that knows what to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that they continue to do that. Like Beat Games obviously had a huge winner on their hands. and I always ask Toby this because I never know from a creator standpoint when you're on something special if you know it or not.
Right.
Mm.
Because when he wrote Jesus Freak, you're like, okay, this feels, like the time. Nirvana is doing the
Right.
thing. It's very Nirvana-esque. So let's jump in there. But I don't know if you can ever tell that it's gonna pop though. Or like,
Right.
When Switchfoot crossed over, when POD crossed over,
Yeah.
like, you're like, do you know, like when Bart Millard was writing I Can Only Imagine, I wonder if he was like, this is it.
Yeah.
Because I have to imagine he didn't, because it took 2 albums before Mercy Me took off, and then they don't get the movie for like 15 years.
Right.
Right.
So it's just so interesting, man. I just wonder if, when they were doing Beat Saber, if they were like, this is freaking fun, or our lives are about to change.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
I
know.
wouldn't be a bit surprised if it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I'm sure when enough people start telling you the same thing over and over again, then you're doing something right.
Yeah. I would assume
So-
they would have just been sitting there just thinking, okay, this is fun, right? Because we're having a blast. This is fun, right?
Right. But there's always demo love.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's what we call it's a
Lord
term.
knows Gabe's got that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. I love a
You
demo.
got that demo.
But it's a thing we call in music when you do the demo and you fall in love with that. So when you fully produce a song, it doesn't sound right to you anymore.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, I kind of loved the song when it was just a guitar. But if
Oh,
you
nice.
released it like that, it actually wouldn't do good. You need to produce it.
Yep.
So when you present it as pop music, if Bye 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 was just a piano vocal, nobody would listen to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited though, man. I mean, we'll see, man. We got some weird companies out here these days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I feel like when we were kids, we didn't have these companies that did everything.
Right.
Like you had the company that made this. You had the company
Yep.
that made this. Now that we have like, even with Valve, like Valve making their VR and making video games is really nice. But Google does almost like Google has a console now.
Right.
Not a good one, but they have one. That's where I do my email and calendars.
Exactly.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Sony, Microsoft, I mean, these guys are brilliant. So we'll see what happens.
Mhm.
What else you got, Christopher?
Well, sticking with the VR talk,
Yeah, let's do it.
Mr. Phil
VR
Spencer. Mr. Phil Spencer had a quote back in 2016 when they were releasing the Xbox One X, and back then it was just called Project Scarlet. And he had said that they like VR, but they didn't feel like it was in the right spot when it's just demos and experiments. And later on, he kind of said, like, look, I don't love that quote because I'm not trying to demean
Yeah. It kind of sounds like a
anybody's
jerk.
work out here because they're doing a lot of great things with VR. But he's kind of, in some respect, doubled down on that because he had this quote. He said, "I have some issues with VR. It's isolating, and I think of games as communal, together kind of experience. We're responding to what our customers are asking for, and nobody's asking for VR." The vast majority of our customers know if they want a VR experience, there's places to go to get those. And we see the volumes of those that sell on PC and things. Like nobody's selling millions and millions of VR units.
Mhm.
And so for the
How many
time
is millions
being,
and millions?
I don't know. His quote was just nobody's selling millions and millions of VR units.
However,
So-
PlayStation sold 4 million.
Yeah, I'm.
Is that millions
basically
and millions?
I guess not to his eyes.
I think that's billions and millions and millions. And
Like
millions.
here's the thing with me. Like basically what he's getting at is he's saying that at the moment there's no plans for VR support coming to Project Scarlet. When they
Yeah.
had talked back about Xbox One X, they're like, "Oh yeah, this is possibly going to happen once it gets past this like demo and experiment phase." It just seems strange to me. Now, I completely understand not necessarily wanting to throw R&D money into creating your own headset.
Yeah, like
I
a
get that.
HoloLens or something.
Yes, but
I'm joking.
It's, well, no. Yeah, I mean that's AR. That's a bit different. But yeah, and even that's just never come. That's never come to the public, right? It's only
No.
ever been like a kind of like
Yeah.
Google Glass and like an experiment. Like, hey, if you want to take this and try to develop something cool,
Yes.
I just don't see why they wouldn't make Scarlet, add a USB port on it where someone could plug in their Oculus or their Vive or whatever if they want to. Like, I don't understand not supporting it. especially if it's other people making the thing and you're just going to provide the platform with which they can then also use that thing. I don't see why that's a negative.
For me,
I don't understand.
For me, I understand not doing VR. I totally understand not doing VR.
You talking about Xbox not supporting VR, or you mean them not creating a headset?
Just both. Like if they're like, "Hey, we're not that. We're not a part of that ecosystem." I get that. I'd hate the quote though. Like I hate that it feels really snarky to me, and it feels like, oh, well then you'll never do anything new then. Like if that's the reason you're not doing because nobody's asking for it. Nobody asked for Apex Legends. Nobody asked for Fortnite. Nobody asked for Beat Saber. But there's things that happen, and I love that Yoshida got on Twitter and was like, we oftentimes work hard to make things that no customers are asking for them.
Right.
And I think his point is, as creatives, this is what we do. We try to create things that you didn't know you wanted, and now you can't live without. And
do you
so
think you create the need for it?
And maybe I'm reading too far into it. I just felt like nobody's asking for it, so we're not doing it. And you're like, I feel you. Could you just stop it? We're not doing it. Because to say nobody's asking for it says that people shouldn't do things that people don't ask for.
We're asking for Xbox to stop listening, and that's not happening either. So what's going on?
But I guess I want to walk back what you were talking about. Like, why
are they burned by the Kinect? Do you think? Are they too afraid to try anything new?
The Kinect burned them bad.
Yeah,
that was an ugly situation. What are you going to ask, Chris?
I don't understand why it's a bad thing to make it to where a person could plug in their Oculus Quest to your Xbox Scarlet, and the game, somebody can purchase it from the store and it just plays. Like, you're literally just the vessel with which it's going through. You're not making the game. I'm not telling them they need to make Xbox exclusive VR games, and they're not making the headsets, but they're making money off of selling the games. Like, why would you not? Like, sure, maybe you're not a big believer in VR and you feel like, oh, it's not there and it may never be there. Cool. That's fine. I'm not saying make the peripheral, and I'm not saying make the games, but why would you not want to, if a person wants to sell a thing on your platform and somebody who uses your platform wants to play the thing, why would you not sell them the thing? Like, where's the negative in that?
Do they just not want to be
understand.
the vessel that a peripheral that's not them makes money?
Maybe.
Like, it's either us or nothing, and I don't know.
That's where I don't know.
It's very weird to me. I understand because, so Chris, the only pushback I would say is when you start doing that, especially with peripherals,
yeah,
peripherals,
you don't get to control that quality, maybe, and so it doesn't get to stick. You know, like, because the same thing with the PlayStation. The PlayStation could have easily just given support to have things and it work with their camera or however they want to do it. But they were like, yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to brand it. It's going to be us, and we can control the narrative here. And maybe he just doesn't want to not be able to fully control it. But I see what you're saying. I mean, I would like for him to just, like, again, yeah, why not? Because I think that some things, if Dreams, that game, has taught us anything, it's that we don't know anything. They are doing incredible things with that medium molecule thing. Like, it's insane to me. And so I'm with you. It's like, let people create. That's what pushes us forward. Why would you not want to help push us forward?
Yeah. And if I didn't make it clear before, I just want to underscore, I totally get them not wanting to make their own VR games and or headsets. Totally understand that. Yep. Especially, like, figure out your HoloLens thing, because I thought it looked kind of cool. How about you work on that? Make that a thing to where everybody can give that a shot.
It seems like a waste of money for them to do now a VR when HoloLens is not out yet.
Maybe.
I just don't like the attitude behind it.
I don't either.
Feel just that felt a little crappy to me on that one. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I don't get the sense that that's his sentiment, but I do agree that I feel like more times, like when you go back and look at it, there's been more times, and again, not like it's all the time, but there have been more times where I feel like, I bet Spencer wished he hadn't phrased that way.
Yeah, it's just really weird to, because he's in that creative field, and how many times have they been like, we want to help you explore the worlds you want to explore, but do it with other people. Don't do it alone in a headset. It's like,
yeah, it's such a weird thing. It's such weird reasoning. I feel like it should be communal, and that feels closed off.
Yeah.
And
really?
It's also, if you go back to his quote about how like, nobody's asking for this kind of thing. Wasn't nobody asking for Game Pass, and that's blown up.
Right?
Nobody even realized
Chris,
that's what they
my
wanted.
whole point I'm making.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like maybe sometimes making the thing nobody asked for works out really well.
Yeah.
But Chris, it's not that it works out really well, buddy. It's that it works out every time almost. Like everything we have is something we didn't know we wanted.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, but
going from record to tape, going from tape to CD.
That was just what I was thinking of, Gabe.
Like none of us knew that was even an option.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I mean,
as a consumer,
his gun shy-ish credit, if that is indeed the case, like you said before, they swung to the fences and gave everybody this
connect,
and it didn't really work out. And I understand why the whole reason they bundled it in with the Xbox One is because they're like, we really need adoption to take off, and once people are using it, they're going to know, and it still didn't work.
But they didn't ever have anything good for it.
That's the thing too, is they never gave it a chance, I felt.
Yeah, I know. Because
I loved the Kinect.
The Kinect that came with the Xbox One this generation was a really strong piece of tech.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it really was strong.
Is. Yeah.
And remember, the console can't work without it.
Oh, that's right.
Is what they said early on. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
There was it's crazy. I was chatting with somebody the other day, and there were all these things, like, because we're getting towards the end of this generation, and like mentioning these things that PlayStation could or couldn't do, and Xbox could or couldn't do in the beginning before they had figured it all out. And he was like, "You remember when the Xbox One launched and you couldn't get into a party?" I was like, "Oh yes, I do remember that."
I don't remember that.
I don't either.
It was like a very short time, but like when it first came out, because they did not have party support at the very beginning.
Wow.
It took like 3 or 4 months before it was put in or something like that.
Is that right?
That's crazy.
Google Stadia up in this piece.
Yeah. Well, nobody was asking for the parties is why, Chris.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry to give you a hard time. I'm feeling snarky tonight. I'm sorry, Phil. I know you're trying your hardest, buddy. That's just a terrible answer.
Yeah, I mean, just think again, whenever you get that feeling of nobody's asking for this, just remember, nobody thought of Game Pass. Nobody was asking for Game Pass, and you gave it to them, and look how that went. It went great.
Nobody asked for the Kinect. It would have gone good. I just feel like they just didn't quite figure it out.
Yep. Yeah.
If they would have had a Beat Saber, that game would have been the Kinect would have been bananas. But
exactly.
They just had Just Dance, and like the Mickey Mouse, the
Fantasia,
conduct this thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jesus.
My favorite thing to do with the Kinect was Xbox read a code. That was my favorite thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
From the
yeah.
cards
You
or whatever,
talk
so you didn't have to key in
yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and definitely nobody was asking for Cortana,
No.
but she was here. that was the thing.
She brought Bing with her.
Yeah, get both those things out of here.
Jeez.
Anybody use Bing? Anybody know somebody use Bing?
Nope.
No.
We should put it up for browser of the year.
Wow, the snark is real with this one tonight.
I'm so sorry.
It's still there. I love it, man.
sorry.
Keep it up.
I apologize.
Keep that fire burning,
I
baby.
know.
Let's go.
I do have some good news, though. This is my last bit of news.
Yeah.
All right.
May 16th,
Yeah. I know that date.
2020. Franklin, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
And we stepping it up this year, y'all.
Oh, my gosh.
Episode 400 is coming up. What are we, 6 months out? December, January, February, March, April, May. 6 months out. Just in time to tell you guys about it.
Yeah.
May 16th, 2020. And listen, we haven't done this before. This is new for us. So please be patient with us as we figure it all out. However, we taking it to a theater this year, y'all.
Yeah, we are.
Theater
Yeah, we are.
with a stage and seating and lights and a bar. And
are we gonna like walk out on stage and not just have to press play and stare at everybody?
I don't know what we're gonna do. We haven't figured it all out yet.
I don't even know what to do. I haven't even thought that far, but we have a stage.
We have a stage. Can you believe it? I talked to this has been a couple months in the workings, y'all.
Yes. I'm so glad to actually talk about it.
And we finally can talk about I feel like Troy Baker when he's like, okay, The Last of Us is out. I can finally talk about it. So yeah, episode 2020. There's a lot of seats, but it's not like endless or anything like that. I think the place sits like 120 people. And so we are selling tickets this year just to try to help cover the cost of the place. It won't even come close to covering the cost of the place, but it will help us. Yeah. We've already kind of put the down payment and everything on it. And so it is going to be $15 to come. However, because it's Black Friday on the day this is releasing, from this Friday to next Friday, you can buy the tickets for $10 a person. I know, ain't that a deal? Ain't that a steal?
What? How nice are we?
I know. So you can go to marriedtothegames.com/MTTG400 and buy your tickets. Oh my, man. I can't even believe we're saying that. We are so a con right now. We're having such a con.
But get all up in there, man.
But we want to, we really do want to set, we wanted to take a step up this year. We wanted to provide you guys with something we haven't been able to provide you guys with before, which is like that true like show experience. Obviously, we'll still be bing bonging around with you guys all day. We'll probably do breakfast and lunch, and then we'll all be together at dinner. But this place is awesome. I was so glad I stumbled upon it and met the owners, and they were super sweet. They're super excited that we're coming, and so that's really fun. So May 16th, man, 2020. Get your tickets this week. You save $5. You save a third. You save 33.33%.
Repeating, of course.
Of course, repeating.
I mean, this is a con, and I cannot wait to see the Chris McCracken cosplay that's going to be there.
Jeez. Can you imagine?
Yeah. And if you're thinking about, if you were like, oh yeah, I'll go as Gabe, just don't do it.
Be careful.
The internet doesn't like blackface.
Lem, you're allowed to.
Yeah, Lem, Q, you guys can come dressed as me. Everybody, I'm just kidding. But man, we want everybody to be able to come, and we wanted everybody to be comfortable. And we knew that last time, with the amount of people we had, I think we had around 60 people last time on the big day, and it just felt a little tight. It felt like it was a little tight. Every year, not saying this will happen again. Every year we've doubled in number, which is just crazy. Yeah. Except from year 1 to 2. 1 to 2 was like we tripled in number. it was me, Chris McCracken, and Jason Stansel. It was great. So intimate. It was awesome. But we did go from a studio to a warehouse space, and now we're stepping up to a theater, and we're hoping that this begins a couple of times meeting at this theater. I think it'd be really cool for 400 to be there, 500 to be there, 600 to be there. 700, not 1, not 2, not 3. I'm just kidding.
LeBron James.
That's my LeBron James, yeah. And so, man, we're just so excited to see you guys. I know we're watching on the Discord, and some guys are buying houses already. They've already got them booked for the weekend.
Renting houses.
Yeah. I mean, but they bought them.
If you say so.
Yeah. They're going to burn it down at the end of the weekend.
Exactly. So we want as many people to get in there as we can.
Yeah.
So please go buy your tickets. $10. We're going to be sending everybody like a little ticket. Not that we'll probably be taking them, but but you need to have it with you because, we have a bouncer. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Bring your phone.
Yeah. We have a bouncer who's going to have a taser. So no lip.
He's not even going to be reading the tickets. He's just going to tase you.
Yeah, exactly.
Free tasing.
Liam's like, here's my ticket.
And can I take a picture?
Exactly. So we got a lot of ideas out there. Obviously, they haven't all come together. We're going to be having, but those are the big details. May 16th, 2020, Franklin, Tennessee. It's called the Mockingbird Theater. and we can't believe it. Like I've been showing
Yeah,
pictures to these guys, and it's just like it's awesome. It's gonna be so awesome. 7:00 start time like usual. Give us some time to get in there and get set up and all the things. Oh, if you came to 300, you know how much fun that was, and that was 3 days. That was a long one.
That
Yeah.
was.
This is we gotta
marathon.
cram it in on this one, man. So it's gonna be so much fun. We have people driving already from like 20 hours away. They said they're driving.
Wow.
That's a long.
I can't
way.
wait till they hear about a plane. That's gonna blow their
Yeah,
minds.
it's like wait. So what happened now? It could have taken 45 minutes. Just kidding.
I can get in this thing.
Exactly. Eduardo,
Yes, sir.
what do you got for us?
Well, over on the YouTube channel for Married to the Games, new this week, we've got Doctor Who, The Edge of Time. That's in its entirety. It's about 3 hours long.
Just watch the Weeping Angels part.
Oh, man. It's so fun. I'm so nervous thinking about that.
Uh-huh.
And then we also have part 3 of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Be sure and watch that one because it'll be the last part you see on YouTube.
Oh.
From Married to the Games, at least.
Snap.
we
Unless
got
Chris
a couple-
finishes it out for you.
What's that?
Unless Chris finishes it out for you.
Oh,
on
that's
his
true.
Extra
You might
Life
pick up the
stream.
gauntlet.
Maybe.
Over on Game Pass, new, we've got Life is Strange 2, Episode 4, Darksiders 3, Munchkin Quacked Quest, and Vambrace Cold Soul.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys have heard of this game. It's called Overwatch.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about it?
From
I'm not playing.
from now until December 4th, it's free.
What?
Nice.
Free to play. And if you decide to pick it up, all of your you get to keep everything you've earned during this.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, free to play till December 4th.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did that
No
win Game of the-
excuses unless you have a Switch. That's not on the Switch. Sorry, you guys.
Oh, it's not free on the Switch over the weekend?
No.
What?
They shouldn't have done that.
That's weird.
I know, it's really weird.
Did they win Game of the Year?
Probably not.
They
I think it was
should.
Death Stranding.
Man,
I know, who knew?
golly.
So yeah, for the next week, you got free Overwatch.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Chris, one of you guys was asking about a game that was all online and said shouldn't have that been nominated, and it was an all online game. And Overwatch did win back in 2016.
Yeah,
Yes.
really?
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah,
It was the
Interesting.
first Game Awards, I think.
2016 was.
Yeah, when they
It's only been around for
officially
3
changed
years?
it to the Game Awards, it wasn't tied
from
in with
Spike
Spike
TV.
anymore.
Okay, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Interesting.
Thanks, Eduardo.
Yeah, man.
Every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. Except for the fact that I stole it from somebody. I stole this question. I mentioned that last year.
Plagiarism,
Yeah,
sir.
Chikorita Cheese at Chikorita Cheese is where I got this question from. We said describe one of your favorite video games as bad as possible, and then you're supposed to put the answer because I'm going to tell these guys the answer afterwards, but they have to guess. And I'm going to try to pick games that are like, I'm not going to.
Games?
Yeah, I'm not going to pick something that I know you guys never played, or else
Okay.
that would be, that would be too hard. All right, you guys ready?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Starting over on Facebook, Lim, Phil y'all. After losing everyone she loves to a bunch of jerks, a girl learns how to hack robots and saves the planet from Hal, who has evolved into a semi-clean, renewable energy source. Oh, and the guy with the hotel in John Wick is in it, but he's less pleasant.
What?
After losing everyone she loves to a bunch of jerks, a girl learns how to hack robots and saves the planet from Hal, who has evolved into a semi-clean renewable energy source. Oh, and the guy from the hotel in John Wick is in it, but he's less pleasant.
I don't know who that guy is. Wow.
Oh, man.
No idea.
She hacks robots.
Hacks. That's what I'm thinking of.
Come on, Chris.
Oh,
Come on, Tim.
yeah.
Chris
The only one I know that hacks robots
is
Recore?
is
Nope.
Sambra.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero
Oh,
Dawn.
Horizon Zero.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I
forgot
could've
there
sworn
was a
y'all were-
hacking mechanic in there.
You
Yeah.
did.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah,
forget
I
about
did.
that
That was
part.
my
Isn't that everything?
favorite.
I forgot about that.
doing
Wow. Good
it
one.
doesn't look like hacking. Maybe that's why. It's not like she's hacking the main.
That's like
Wow,
Avatar.
That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Ben Palmer, a guy with a lot of muscles and a really sharp axe, walks around with his kid who he's always yelling at, trying to get to the top of the mountain.
Oh yeah,
WWE 2020.
Yeah.
boy.
Oh yeah, boy.
That's awesome, boy.
Read it, boy. Gosh, what a great voice on
good.
that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Brian Niebel, some random nobody is really good at jumping and can use magic. He decides to help a kindly dinosaur, but sucks at it, all while he's saving the locals from a crazed kidnapping king. Some random nobody is really good at jumping and can use magic. He decides to help a kindly dinosaur, but sucks at it, all while he's saving the locals from a crazed kidnapping king.
This is a Nintendo game, isn't it?
Sure is.
Helps a dragon, but sucks at it.
A kindly dragon.
A kindly dragon.
But every time he rides the dragon, he always punches him in the head.
Oh yeah,
Another
Mario
detail.
something.
Yeah,
Super-
Yoshi's Island.
Super Mario World.
Yoshi's on-
Super Mario World.
Dang it.
You guys suck
We
at
had
this
Mario
so far.
part.
All right, here we
That's
go.
We're bad
Alex
at this.
Van Aken. Ooh, shut up.
Oh.
Hey-o.
Okay, Beast. Many heroes, magical and strong-handed. You guys aren't going to get this.
Yes.
Band together across cities, forges, deserts, and forests to fight for the prosperity of their many different races and peoples.
Wow, I'm
At first I was going to say Overwatch, but at the end there, I'm like, I don't know if
I
that's
know.
right.
I shouldn't have read that one. You guys aren't going to get it. I thought maybe somebody be able to pull it out if you knew Alex. World of Warcraft.
Johnny.
See, you guys know these.
I know.
Here we go.
Yeah.
We're going to keep going even though this is painful.
For who?
Yeah.
I'm having a ball.
I was just joking. You guys ready? You got your deep
Yes.
voices on?
Yes.
Robert Darrell Good. Sir Robert
Yeah,
Darrell
man.
Good. Two rednecks are hanging out. One says, man, it just don't get any better than guns and chainsaws. The other says, hold my beer.
Is that
Two.
Gears?
Gears of War. Yeah, Chris, there you
Oh,
go.
well done,
Nice.
Nice, Chris.
Nothing better than guns and chains. I thought that would definitely give it away. Good job, Chris.
I was thinking horror.
I was going Red Dead.
All right, Chris.
Chainsaws.
I don't know.
Playoffs.
Again, I haven't played it.
Yeah.
You had me at Redneck, so I'm like, yeah, Red Dead sounds about right.
I haven't played it. I didn't know they didn't have chainsaws in the Old West.
All right, Chris, this is your wifey,
All right.
Stacy Runyon Funyon McCracken.
Oh, yeah.
So there's this game.
Don't starve.
Good job.
Is it really?
It is Don't Starve.
What did
No
she say? The
way.
reader thing.
Yes!
Good job.
Take that, chainsaw.
Oh, my gosh.
So there's this game, and it's a lot of fun, and you can play it with friends. It has all these characters, boys and girls. Well, maybe they aren't human. Maybe they're robots or animals. I don't know. But it's a lot of fun.
I thought that was Overwatch.
Don't Starve.
Ah,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Gosh, that's so funny that
She
you
was
said
in there
that.
playing
good.
it tonight before we got started recording.
that's so funny.
All right, here we go. Over on Discord. That was all. Let's see. Did I do the Twitter once? I don't think I did yet. Oh, here we go. Okay. This is only one line here.
Okay.
Man, you guys aren't going to get that. Hold on a second.
How dare you?
Yeah, how
Okay,
dare
okay, I'm
you?
sorry, I'm
Who
sorry,
do you
I'm sorry.
think you
Who?
are?
They
I'm
didn't
sorry.
even need anything except there's this game.
That's
and then
true.
Tim got it.
Yeah, he killed that one. All right, here we go. Attack of the Mushroom People.
Is it Mario?
No. That would
Mushroom
make
people, I
sense.
think of Goombas.
I know, me too. That's what I would have thought too. It's The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
What?
Yeah.
that kind of-
They weren't
Uh,
mushroom
yeah.
people, even though they were
That's a good
fun
one.
guys.
Oh!
Oh, good job.
Ayo.
Let's see. You guys didn't play that. Oh man. All right. Mark 2, he says, here's a 2-for-1.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 90s. So take the next step by largely repeating the first 2 games in the series. All right. Get the same power-ups you already got. Defeat the same enemies you already beat in a world you already explored. I don't know what that means, but the answer is Super Metroid and Zelda Link to the Past.
All right, moving on.
All right.
Good job, Mark.
Arctic M77. I don't know who this is. I know his logo is still the A and the W, so I don't know who M77 is.
New listener, thanks for listening. Good to have you.
Yes.
You have a meal in a foreign country with some guy. He had to excuse himself to take care of something before helping
Far
you
Cry.
out. Yeah, Far
Yeah,
Cry 4.
buddy.
Good job,
There
Edward.
we go.
Well done.
There you go. All right.
Far Cry.
Going over to Discord. Oh, man. I got to click on the answers to see if you guys will. Okay, here we go. A cartoon where you shoot things so you get more things to shoot with.
Borderlands.
Yep.
Good job. Good job.
Nice.
Done and done.
You're doing great. Did anybody play this? I think Ed played this. Walking around, becoming
Record. What?
Walking around, becoming increasingly obsessed with drawing lines.
Withdrawing the unfinished swan?
Ooh, close.
Say it one more time.
Walking around, becoming
Mhm.
increasingly obsessed with drawing lines.
Concrete Genie?
The Witness.
Dang it.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Boo, that's a puzzle game.
Yeah, it sure is. All right. It's like going on a spooky cross. Okay, I'll read it different.
Oh, nice.
It's like going on a spooky cross-country hiking trip with your baby. It's like going on
Death
a spooky.
Stranding.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Death Stranding. It is.
Nice.
Barbie version,
I just wanted to
apparently.
hear you say it again.
I know, right?
Yeah. All right, 2 more. Let's see. Unless these down here are really good. Yeah, 2 more.
Just note, if you didn't hear yours read, try better next time.
No,
That's right.
it's
Try
not that they're
harder.
bad. It's just they're games that I know you guys didn't play.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Celeste.
Yeah. Deranged psychopath in a Halloween costume beats up mentally ill people while tracking down a homicidal clown.
Oh.
Jason?
Deranged, huh?
Heavy Rain?
No, deranged psychopath in a Halloween costume beats up mentally ill people. Wow. While tracking down a homicidal clown. When I read you guys the answer, you're going to be like, wow, too.
I don't know.
Clown.
Batman Arkham Asylum.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
jeez.
Dang it. Yep.
Good
It's
one.
true. He beat up everybody in the Arkham
That's
Asylum.
true. He did.
They were
Yeah, he
mentally
sure did.
ill. Yeah. Oh, drive really fast cars. Drive really fast
Mario Kart.
cars. No. Drive really fast cars around trying to hit things, but almost always seem.
Almost always what?
This is so me in this game.
Burnout.
Drive really.
Gotta be Forza.
Drive really fast cars.
Oh, Jesus. It's gonna take a while.
It's not going to be as funny to you guys, but this is so my life in this game. Drive really fast cars around trying to hit things, but almost always seem to be off target.
Oh, that could be
Rocket
so many
League.
things.
Rocket League.
I love that game. I would whiff on that ball so hard. Oh my
Right?
gosh.
It's like, oh, you boost and I swing and a miss.
Exactly. And I'm on the other side of the court.
You jump in the
And
air
upside
and
down.
you just look at it fly by. Like,
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. All right.
That's good.
Okay,
That was
last
funny.
one for real.
All right.
Chris, I'm counting on you on this one.
Okay.
A giant snowball gives you powers so you can fight wizards, robots, and fish-faced monsters. A giant snowball gives you power. Remember, this is explaining it badly.
Yes.
A giant snowball gives you powers.
that's why we're not getting it.
Exactly. So you can fight wizards, robots, and fish-faced monsters.
Snowball. It's not Witcher, is it?
Metal Gear
No.
Solid.
No, it's not. No.
Darn.
Giant snowball.
Giant snowballs throwing me off.
I have no idea.
No
Giant
idea.
snowballs like totally
Giant
stumping
snowball.
me.
What if I called
I'm trying to think of characters named Snowball.
no, just think of like looking up in the sky and seeing a giant snowball that gives you powers to fight wizards, robots, and fish-faced monsters.
Journey?
That makes it better.
Yeah,
Yeah, right? Come on.
that would be Destiny. Or Destiny 2. We would have taken another answer as well.
Oh, yeah, I guess that kind of works.
I like
Because
that
the
after
Traveler
all
is
these...
like a giant snowball that sits up in the sky.
Exactly.
The fish-faced monsters had me.
The Traveler.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Doggone
Okay,
it.
cool. Well done,
I
everybody.
like the
That
game,
was
but man, am I
good.
bad at that one.
I know, right? Wow.
It's okay.
Goodness.
Really
It's
bad.
tough. Those are tough. Those are tough. I'm trying to see if there's any softballs here, just to get everybody's, because you can't quit on a loss. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've ever heard.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can.
Can't go out like that.
Mm-mm.
You walk around making magical graffiti while being harassed
Concrete
by
genie.
Huh?
Concrete genie.
You walk around making magical graffiti while being harassed by a potato.
Oh. What?
Being harassed by a potato.
Yeah.
Second son.
Portal 2.
Oh.
Close.
Close.
Good
You were
enough.
so close. Glad you were so close.
We were right there.
Judge allows
Throwing
it.
a chainsaw, you would have had it.
Okay. An angry father forces his son to walk up a mountain. They kill a lot of people.
God of War.
God of War.
Okay. All right. You guys are so good at this game. You guys nailed that one.
Oh my god.
I'm glad I got one.
Yes. What a fun game.
That was good.
We will
Good
not be playing
stuff.
that one again. Thanks a lot, Chikorita Cheese.
Yeah, man.
Oh man. I just love if I would have read some of these other ones like Chronicles of Riddick or Kingdom Hearts. You guys would
There
not
was
have
a
got-
game of Chronicles of Riddick?
Yeah. Chrono Trigger
Yikes.
would have been hilarious. Earthworm Jim, maybe you would have gotten.
Oh yeah.
I should have gave you guys multiple choice. Doggone it.
Yeah.
I didn't have that kind of time though.
That'd have been tough
Way
on
more
you.
fun.
Yeah,
Way more
exactly.
fun.
Yeah. All right.
Good job. Good
You
job. Good
know where to find us. Twitter.com/MTTGcast.
Do you?
Facebook.com/married to the games. Come join the community. Like Ed said, YouTube.com/married to the games. Marriedtothegames.com. Members /MTTG400. And you be coming to the party. Ooh, it's going to be a party. It's going to be a good time. There's a bar. Ooh, we've never had a bar before. We've only had like pizza and some sodas.
Mm-hmm.
Where else? Patreon, if you'd like to throw $1 in the tip jar. We just hit 100 patrons this week.
What? Oh, that is
Yay.
awesome. You guys are
Hey.
awesome.
You.
We thank
Wow.
you guys so much for that, for supporting
Mhm.
the show. We really, really, really appreciate it. 100 patrons. It was just a Patreon appreciation day not too long ago. So we want to say thank you
That's awesome.
you again. That is awesome. You're right. And like Chris said, it's not too late to join up on this extra life.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
extra-life.org/team/MTTG. You click join the team. Try to raise some money for these kids. We're trying to get to $10,000. We are at 9,000 something now.
Whoosh.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to do it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Edward.
Rate us on iTunes, leave a review, and you might win your very own colonial chainsaw.
Nice.
Well played, sir.
Ragagagaga. 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 Anybody got any gas? We don't know what gas is.
What's
Huh?
gas?
What? Nothing? Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, we're going to start with email, mailbag@marriedtothegames.com. Travis P., with all the new Star Wars hype, I thought this was fitting. What's the internal temperature of a tauntaun?
Oh my gosh. Is that the thing? It splits open so you can
Yep.
lay in there in the
Mhm.
snow? So I'm going back and slowly watching the Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And my answer would be just warm enough.
Lukewarm.
Oh, jeez. That's
You
good.
win. You
I like that
win.
a lot.
Yeah, I like that.
That's good.
Lukewarm.
I really like that. That was good. He said, I hope you guys and the community have the very best Thanksgiving this year. Thank you for all that you do. I am back out driving tractor trailer across the states, and the podcast gives me a little piece of home each time I listen to it.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
Many people will walk in and out of your life, but only true friends will leave footprints in your heart, says Eleanor Roosevelt. Thank you for the stampede of footprints.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
that's
Thank
awesome.
you, Travis. That was wonderful. I appreciate
What
that.
the heck? Yeah.
That's great. Discord, Burnaby Butterteeth. What's on the menu for Turkey Day?
Turkey.
Turkey.
Anything and everything under the sun.
Yeah. I don't, that is not my area. I don't know. I'd sit down and enjoy the situation.
Yes. Yes. I agree.
Chris,
How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nothing crazy, just the traditional stuff. Turkey, stuffing, ham.
Turkey's- Yep.
Yep.
Same here.
Yep.
Calm Fury, any of you have to experience the NICU? Struggling over here. Man,
Oh.
I don't know what's going on, but we are definitely holding you up. Please keep us posted on what's happening. There's been a lot of comments back and forth. I haven't seen the latest, but man, we hope everything's okay.
Doggone it.
Yeah,
I
it's
have not been to the NICU personally, but I know it's not a place that people are trying to be at. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. man.
But hey, I'll tell you this much. Those people that work there love what
Angels.
they do. They're angels and they are
They are
trying
angels.
hard
Yep.
and they are smart.
Yep.
And so I would think you are in good hands.
Mm-hmm.
Our good friends, Dabney and Peter, they had triplets. They were in the NICU for 4 months.
Yes,
Because
that's right.
they were premature.
That's
and,
right. I remember that.
Man, it was both it was great because they were alive and kicking and doing well, but it was just very surreal. I mean, these just tiny little babies just sitting there.
Yep.
And I'll never forget our goddaughter Poppy. They had a little clamp on her big toe and it's showing a red light and you can see through her entire foot. That's
Yeah.
how tiny she was. It was
Crazy.
insane. But man, just keep us posted. But we are lifting you up, and you just let us know what's going on. And
Yeah,
and, you know,
please do.
You know, you got a family here that's here to support you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Turkey Master Serta. best-
Instead of beef master, that's funny.
I like that. The best Thanksgiving food item, and what traditional item do you abhor? Meaning you hate.
Oh, the best item
Best.
is the one eaten the day after. Anything the day after, I feel like is
The
better
leftovers?
than the day of. And I gotta say, I love corn. I really do. I love corn.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
I do not like. Man, that's tough. Everything's usually good. I don't know if I ever have anything where I'm like, nah, I could go without that. Yeah, I don't know. Shoot, that's a tough one. I don't know anything I abhor. Maybe beets. I don't like beets. Sometimes that makes their way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love me some beets.
No, thank you.
Ed, what you got?
I love the turkey. And I hate stuffing.
Do you?
Man, I
Yeah.
love me some stuffing. That's what I was gonna say was stuffing.
Ooh.
Even though
You
I
can have
like
mine.
a lot of the different things. And we're one that we don't like as well.
Yep.
I don't
What
like green
traditional
bean
item you don't-
casserole.
Oh man.
Yeah, sure.
I'll trade you my stuffing for your casserole.
Yeah, absolutely, you can. And I'll even throw a bonus one. I don't like candied yams.
Oh, I don't either.
Get that mess out of here.
I don't know. I don't know if I really know what that is.
It's something that's already sweet, and then they just throw a ton more sweet stuff and marshmallows on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't have to have those.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out on that.
Yeah, I think I do love a good turkey. I think that's probably the best. I'm kind of with you, Ed, on the stuffing part of it. It's the one that I don't.
Yeah, you're
choose
not
to
looking
eat
forward to
the
that,
most.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still eat it if it's there, but like I'm not digging in.
It's usually so dry.
Yeah.
it depends. Yeah, it depends
Just
on how
dry
it's
in
cooked, too,
nature.
so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just weird.
Yep.
All right, cool. It's a Neebs. Some family of mine have been debating recently What do you call the delicious breaded side dish? Is it dressing or stuffing?
Stuffing.
Yeah, I think it's a Southern thing too. So, the South says dressing. I say
Yes,
stuffing.
I've heard dressing before.
Yeah, I've
Yeah, I
definitely heard
heard
it.
both.
Yeah.
I don't know what dressing is. I always say stuffing.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same thing.
It's the same
Same
thing,
thing.
essentially. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, it's interesting. Kimarang, what is the most awkward thing that you have witnessed or experienced at a family gathering? All right, let's get personal. Let's do
Oh.
this.
At a family gathering.
I've got.
Family gathering.
I got something I probably can't say.
bring it.
I know. I was about to say I've got one too, but I don't want to put her out
Yeah.
there like that. Oh, so besides that,
yeah.
one time one of my aunts was mad at another one of my aunts, and she was whispering at our end of the table, and she was like, "I just want to blow her up with a bomb."
Whoa.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were like-
Jeez.
Yes.
We're like, "Yep, Merry Christmas."
Yep.
That was probably one of the
Wow.
weirder things. Anybody else?
I'm not going to call out anything, but I will say this. There was a family member that was yelling and screaming at another family member to the point where we had to go out of the house so that they can yell and scream and work out their differences. And and then later on, we all watched fireworks together.
Oh, so it worked out.
Yeah.
You don't mean them fighting, was the fireworks.
But it was like, I'm sitting here eating a burger, and next thing I know, I'm out on the porch while they're hashing it out.
Wow. There you have it.
Yep. Anybody else?
We were at a funeral,
Oh,
and so, people will buy flowers, and the flowers will be up next to the casket as a gift. And some people buy wind chimes, like lawn chimes or whatever.
Oh, really?
And they were sitting up there,
Okay.
huge chimes, like they had their own tripod and everything.
Oh, wow.
And read the note, and they were addressed to another funeral that was going on in the funeral home.
Uh-oh.
And a member of our family took the note, crumpled it, threw it in the trash, and said, "No one needs to know."
Whoa.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
No
Now, just
way.
so you know, they did end up in the proper place where they were supposed to, because they were the rest of the family didn't let them call them on that. But that was a little embarrassing.
That
That's
is
funny.
crazy.
That is funny.
Nothing super crazy here, but I have seen grandparents yell and put in their place grown adults that need to be respect their elders still.
Nice.
I've seen that
Nice.
happen.
That's amazing. I love when older people get at old people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like when a grandparent gets at a 55-something-year-old person, you're like, "Oh, snap, y'all can still do that. I can't wait to be old."
When do I get to yell at my mom and dad?
Yeah, right.
Because I'm pretty sure dad will still smack me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
amazing.
All right. Now that we got the awkwardness out of the way, Haley Zorel, I would love to know what color lightsaber y'all would have in the Star Wars universe.
Blue.
This was asked over on our show, but I'd love to hear your answers.
Purple.
I agree, Chris.
I would have blue.
Yep.
Purple.
Blue for me.
I got to go with
Purple.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I guess blue.
Nice. I like it. Josh Stapleton, Facebook, it's turkey time, which for a lot of us means watching football. And for some of us, it means attempting, albeit poorly, to play football.
Mhm.
If you could assemble a team from video game characters, who would you want on your team and why? Include at least a quarterback, wide receiver, running back, and a linebacker, safety, and defensive lineman.
Oh my
Also,
No.
sorry,
Spencer,
Ed, I
no.
owe you a coffee question.
Yeah. That's too
I'm
many
just
people.
going to say the cast of Gears for all of the above.
There you go.
There you
Perfect.
go. That's a good one.
Good.
All right. Okay. So for the rest of the three of us, just name the name the thing, and we'll just say them real quick. What was the first one
All
you
right.
asked for?
Quarterback.
Oh crap.
Nathan Drake, man.
Okay,
That's what I was going to say.
Chris.
One of the hunters from Destiny, because they threw the grenades pretty far.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Sonic for the scramble.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Okay.
I like that. All right. Wide receiver.
I'm gonna go with the guy from Sunset Overdrive or Override.
Oh, nice. Okay.
What's that called? What was his name?
The main character?
No, what was that game?
Oh, Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Go with him for a wide receiver, I think.
So I would go Sonic for wide receiver
Yep.
so he could get that.
That'd be good.
Wide receiver, I'm going Spider-Man.
Good job. That's a good
Ooh,
one.
Okay, running back.
Kratos,
Ah, good one.
Chris.
Shoot, running back. Doggone it.
Sonic,
Blanca.
say Sonic. Oh.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, man.
He'll
From
just roll.
Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Tim.
Yeah, I would go Kratos.
Yep.
I would definitely go Kratos. Okay, linebacker.
Oh,
Reinhardt.
shoot. Ooh, Reinhardt. That's a
Ooh,
really
that's
good one.
what yeah,
That's
a good one.
that's everybody's answer.
Yep. Yeah, that's right there. That is.
There's not a
That's
better
actually
answer
really
than
good.
that.
That's a great one.
Safety.
Oh, way out there. Can I go Doc Ock?
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
I'll go Lucio.
Dang it, I was going to say Lucio. Doggone
Will
it.
you? Oh.
Fine, I'll go
love it.
Genji.
Okay, that
All right,
works.
fine. All right, defensive lineman.
Ooh, I'm
All the gears.
yeah, that,
all the
yeah,
gears, guys.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, all the gears goes
yeah,
well.
all
Yeah.
the gears get on that
Stealing my
defensive
team.
line. Yeah,
Sorry,
no,
man.
they have to play
I owe
both
you
ways.
a coffee.
Yeah, they're playing both ways. Sorry about that.
Good question. Scott Clark, how would you rank the following three aspects of a video game in terms of their importance to you personally?
7.
Oh.
Story,
good.
graphics, and gameplay. Will you play a game if only one of those is high quality while the other two are lackluster?
Yes.
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 But the
Yes,
story
it would.
has to be good. I can't play a game where the story's bad but it's pretty.
Yeah.
But I'll play
Yeah.
an 8-bit game like I did with Golf Story because I loved the story of it and the gameplay was fun.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have, for me, you have to have story and gameplay.
yes.
If those aren't there, I'm
Yeah.
not playing your game. And that's
I
why I'm not playing Jedi Fallen Order. Because I feel like the gameplay is a struggle for me.
Mm.
Even
Yeah.
though it looks pretty and the story might be good.
I ditto that.
Are we
completely.
answering that question correctly?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. Anybody else got any?
Yeah.
Other-
From most to least important, story, gameplay, graphics.
Oh, really? Is the story's number one for you?
Yeah.
Ooh, man, I think it might be gameplay for me. Shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
could
to
see that,
enjoy
though.
myself while I'm doing it. I'll get through a struggling story.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think story because that brings you in, gameplay
Yep.
for ease and help advance you to the
Yeah,
story,
yeah.
and then graphics.
You know what's weird about graphics too? I actually don't need it to be pretty, but if you're trying for it to be pretty, I want to be pretty. But if you're like,
Yes.
you know, if it's like
Right.
Borderlands and
If
it's
it's
stylistic,
intentionally
then
not
like,
supposed to be, I'm
yeah.
fine
But
with
if
that.
it's like you need to fix their mouths and all that, that gets really distracting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep.
Chris,
Gameplay is king. Always will be for me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Story will be second, and then graphics is always last.
Yep.
nice,
Because Pac-Man is really fun.
great question, Scott. Thanks for that. Travis Reeves, would you rather have loads of time to play games but only be able to buy 2 games a year, or be able to buy loads of games but never have much time to play them?
Eek.
I would
Depends
do
on
the
the two.
two.
I would do the 2.
Yep. Same here.
Would you?
Yep.
I'd do the other one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a bunch of different experiences. Instead of like, if there was a year where I only got to play Persona and Red Dead the whole year, I wouldn't like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Everybody go?
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, over on Twitter at Dopalicious, do you have a game that helped you through a rough time? I'm currently dealing with some heavy stuff, serious health scares for this pregnancy, waiting on answers.
Man,
But I keep going back to Slay the Spire to take my mind off things for a bit.
interesting.
Something about the gameplay loop of struggling to the top of the spire, winning, and getting knocked back down to do it again, but harder, is lethargic and rewarding, kind of like the highs and lows of life. Just in a really deep low. Sorry, man. Also plays fantastically on remote play from bed.
I know that's right. Hey, oh.
Man, again, I hope you definitely get out of the scares that you're going
Yeah,
through.
that junk is.
And this
the
was
worst.
last week's question too, so I'm sorry we didn't get to it last week too. But
Mhm.
please keep us updated on what's going on. But anybody got a game that helped you through a rough time?
A rough time.
I don't really know that I
It's
do.
it's hard, like, because it wasn't a rough. I didn't like school. I wasn't good in
Mhm.
school, and I feel like Final Fantasy VII gave me something to talk to people about. That other gamers and stuff like that. So I feel like between that and Counter-Strike, just kind of got me through that high school, just post high school, those years that like
Yeah.
where you don't really know who you are, but you think you know who you are, but you have a bunch of questions, but you don't want anybody telling you anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Counter-Strike and Final Fantasy VII probably.
Nice.
Yeah, it was my first gaming community. Counter-Strike was.
Mm.
Oh, cool.
And so, anyway. Chris?
I don't really think that I have one. Like one of the most major things that's happened to me was my father passing a little while back, and but I did play games throughout that time, but I didn't. It's not like I connected with one in a certain way, or
Right.
Right.
it was more of like just a distraction, which it could have been any game really.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense. Ed?
Yeah, I don't have. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have a specific game, but I do gravitate toward like party games.
Yep.
I know when I was going through my divorce, Gabe, a big one was like Dance Dance Revolution or
Yes.
like Karaoke Revolution.
Yep.
You don't know Jack. And then even now, if I'm having a rough time, I'll hop onto Overwatch and just see if anybody's on,
Well,
just to hang out. I don't have to talk about it, but just to hang with friends.
And I feel like that I was just about to say yours felt very communal.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like everything, because I was around at that time, and I felt like it was really us coming together and being able to have those experiences together as friends instead of maybe just the singular game itself.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Totally.
What about you, Tim?
For me, I didn't have a game that got me through a rough time, but here's what I do enjoy is when I get up in the morning and I play a game, I just kind of forget about everything else and I just focus on that game. And for me, it kind of helps kind of clear my mind for the day. I've done like a good hour of gaming. I'm feeling good. And then I go down and start working, and it just it helps me kind of set things okay for the remainder of the day, no matter like if I'm just stressed about work or what have you, but getting some of that time in the morning, it just really helps. I enjoy it.
Yep. That makes sense.
It's really great. So thank you for that, Dopalicious. Appreciate it. All right. We got one more from at MTTG Brazil team, Mr. Pastor Ham. Time for a Star Wars inspired quickfire. Here we go. All right. R2D2, BB-8, or BD-1?
Oh, shoot. Man, that's not fair.
That's tough.
I think I gotta
I'll go
BB-8.
BB-8.
Yeah,
BB-8.
exactly. I gotta go BB-8
go.
too. It makes me sad though, because R2D2 really should get the love.
Yeah, I like R2. This isn't throwing the other in the trash, is it? That wasn't the
No.
Right.
Okay,
No,
good.
no, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah. What say you?
I'm going R2.
Yeah. What'd you say,
Yeah.
Edward?
BB-8 for sure. R2 screams too much.
R2's also gotten shot more
Amara
than
loves
the other droids.
Yeah.
So
He's taking the
true.
most heat, that's for sure.
you got to give him a little bit for that.
Yeah. Even though C3PO got totally dismantled.
He got obliterated.
Yeah.
Yep. Chewie or Ewoks?
Oh, Chewie.
Chewie. Hands down, Chewie.
Chewy.
Yeah. Who would pick Ewoks?
I don't know. Rocket pack or flamethrower?
Rocket Pack.
Rocket Pack.
Yeah.
Were there
Rocket Pack.
flamethrowers in Star Wars?
Mm-hmm. Well, there were flame troopers.
Yeah.
I guess there were in the game. Yeah.
Yeah, Rocket Pack for sure.
Force choke or force lightning?
What's Force Lightning?
That's the one that
the Emperor had
the
that.
Emperor did.
The Emperor had it. Yeah.
Force Choke.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
want
going-
anybody to know where it's coming from.
That's right.
Yeah, Force Choke's cooler, even though the other one's probably more effective.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Darth was able to do force choke over the FaceTime.
Yep, that's true.
So I gotta go
man.
force choke. If you can't force lightning somebody on FaceTime.
I don't.
It's true.
It's true.
That's too much data.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very true. Very true. Force push or force jump?
Force jump.
Jump.
Yeah, force jump, definitely.
You know
I
what's
don't have
funny?
to push anybody if I can choke them.
Exactly. I didn't realize that force jump was actually a thing
I didn't either.
until I was watching. I forgot it was a thing until I was watching Empire Strikes Back today, and he force jumps out of that hole
That's
right
right.
before he finds out.
Yeah.
right after he
right.
finds out who his dad is.
Man, that was
Right
such a
before.
good one. I'm glad you watched that today.
Mm-hmm.
Blue milk or Yoda's stew? That's good. I
Stew.
like that. Oh, that stew is nasty, man. I'm going blue milk.
Yeah, blue milk. Chris?
I'll go the stew.
Yeah. Stew is gross. It is.
This is so random. Coarse sand or teenage Anakin?
Teenage Anakin.
You hate sand.
I freaking hate it.
That is funny.
I mean, I literally everything he says, I'm like, well, yeah. Well,
I'll take coarse sand over teenage Anakin.
Yeah, I don't think I wasn't
I-
feeling Anakin, man.
Did not like teenage Anakin.
Yeah.
I'll go Anakin.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take the sand for sure.
Right. And finally, the light or the dark side?
Yoda says the light side's stronger than the dark side. The dark side just has a really strong pull. So I'm going to go light side.
have you not watched any of the trailers for the new Star Wars?
No, I haven't.
All right, then I won't make my comment.
Why? Because dark side seems just real dope.
I mean, I can't make my comment.
Ah,
I don't want
shit.
anything to be not there for you.
All right. Yep. Still light side.
Nice.
What say you, Tim? You're going light side, right?
Yeah, I'm going light side. Yeah.
Ed?
I'm a softie.
Yeah, I'll go light side.
There you go. Chris?
That is it for all the
Wait,
questions.
did Chris
sorry.
say one?
Dun, 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 dun. I'm going dark.
He's going dark. Going dark.
I
Nice.
can't freaking wait for that movie. We're really close, you guys.
I know. It's
You
insane.
know, huh?
I love it. I love it.
Thank you, everybody, for all the questions. We really appreciate it.
Yes, it's Thanksgiving, gobble gobble. This comes out on Black Friday. So the question that we always ask at this time of the year is, what are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? And we made this a criteria last time, and we'll make it a criteria this time. Get creative. Don't say your family. We know that you're thankful for your family. We know. And me and Chris really know that you're thankful for your family. We're thankful for our families. Chris, I still hate you for putting that commercial up on your Facebook. I bawled my eyes out. I don't even know what the company was. It looked like IKEA.
I don't
but
either.
Exactly. So what are you thankful for, Ed Placencia?
I'm thankful for people who think differently than me and then surprise me with humor I didn't see coming.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah, I was going to say something along those lines. I'm thankful for people that make me laugh.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's always so needed.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's the best medicine, isn't it?
Yep.
I like it. Chris?
I am thankful for people who think ahead
Ooh,
and always prepare
really?
for that which may come.
Interesting.
Nice. I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm gonna say I am thankful for. I feel like there's so many. This is gonna sound a little weird because we're going into an election year and things are political and awful, but I really am thankful for this country. I feel like there's so many opportunities here, and I know that some people feel like some people have a head start on other people, but I feel like just being in America, you have a head start on a lot of people. And so just being here, I feel like gives you a leg up. So I really am I'm thankful for America and the opportunities that it affords the people that live here.
Agreed. Well played, sir.
That's good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Good. What are you guys thankful for out there? We want to hear about it. And we will talk about it next week. I got to give you guys a heads up real quick. Next month is December. It's the last month of this decade. Almost
Ooh.
every question of the week next month is going to be asking your something of the decade. Whether it's your characters of the decade, whether it's your games of the decade. So be getting your thinking caps on. You guys will have time, and I'm going to be hitting these guys up early with the question of the week so they can really think about it. But that's what we're going to be asking people in December. It's a little different. We haven't done this before because we've never been coming to the end of a decade before in this show. And so that's one of the main reasons.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be doing your such and such of the decade starting next week. So that'll be a lot of fun to walk down memory lane from
What is this decade called? Just the teens? What's it called?
Yeah, that's a
the
good
80s,
question because we had the
90s.
Because
Yeah,
they
I don't know.
called the other ones the 2000s, didn't they? The 2000s.
2000s, the 2010s.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to call this one. So this is going to be from the year 2010 to 2019. That's the decade. So, when we ask your favorite game and all that, those are the years. But
Love it.
for this week, it's what are you thankful for? And we will talk about it next week. Thank you guys so much for being here. 376.
Yes.
In the books.
370, yes. Well played, Ed. Well played.
Thank you.
I'm Gabe Patillo. That's Tim Router. That's Ed Placencia. That's Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games. And we are up out this thing.